Flexing ain't discreet about it. Extra, extra read about it. Say you wanna beef about it. We gon' come and see about it. Flexing ain't discreet about it. Extra, extra read about it. Say you wanna beef about it. Find out nothing sweet about it. Flexing ain't discreet about it. Extra, extra read about it. Say you wanna beef about it. We gon' come and see about it. Flexing ain't discreet about it. Extra, extra read about it. Say you wanna beef about it. Find out nothing sweet about it.
Look, mile like 3-6 pulled up, ski trip cold winter. All my eating good. I remember when we had no dinner. West side, east side, no side, both sides with me. Check, come and check, leaving flex season 12, come and get me. Gil, the run around, high speed, texting all the big bags. Bending corners, bending rules, bending necks, Gil, the whiplash. Slide through hot knife, warm butter storm, gutter drain lane. Young man, old habit, still at it, tryna let my chain hang. True story, new story, 2-story, condo, B&B. 4 bath, 1 me, no key, like I did a B&E. Being me so good, so hood, so not worried about it. 250,000 new views, old news, know you probably heard about it. Extra, extra, read about it. Headline, word around town, flexing. Ballin' on my course, so I ain't worried about nobody out of bounds, stressing. Feeling like Hercules, murder these ain't a problem to me. Tried to tell the maid service don't come unless you bringin' condoms to me.
Flexing ain't discreet about it. Extra, extra read about it. Say you wanna beef about it. We gon' come and see about it. Flexing ain't discreet about it. Extra, extra read about it. Say you wanna beef about it. Find out nothing sweet about it. Moving, shaking, coming down to me. Stacking, racking, money, power flipping. Moving, shaking, coming down to me. Stacking, racking, money, power flipping. Moving, shaking, coming down to me. Stacking, racking, money, power flipping. Moving, shaking, coming down to me. Stacking, racking, money, power flipping.
What's going on, everybody? Happy Monday to you. It's your boy Trigger Mike on the Lapeef Network, back on another Monday. Today is Monday, April 3rd, 2023. I'm so glad to have y'all here with me on another good episode of the Trigger Mike Show. Go ahead and hit that like button. All of the people in the chat, go ahead and hit that like button for me. I know y'all like to be notorious and just skip by it, but let me go to the broadcast right now. Let's see what we got, how many people we got in here. I need y'all to get those likes up for me. Happy to be with y'all this morning. Interesting weekend, had a good weekend. I did a lot of stuff. My son's soccer team lost, but every loss ain't a bad loss. He the best player on the team. I don't know where this came from because last season, you couldn't have told me it was going to end up like this. But 3-year-olds, you got to give them some grace. We're all competitive parents, but you got to give a kid some grace every now and again. That was not even a throwaway season like I thought it was. They just got to get acclimated to the game and the rules and whatever was going on. My son used to go to the goal and just stand there and play with the net. Then when you finally got him into the game for kickoff, this dude would just sit on the ball. Pause. But he would just sit there. I'd be like, yo, take him out the game. This is embarrassing. This fool is fast. And not to brag, but he just like his daddy. I was the best on my soccer team. Every single soccer team I ever played for, I was the best. Granted, it was a lot of other than black people there, so naturally I was the fastest, but no, I was the best. So even though they lost, they literally had 30 looks. 30 looks. They just couldn't, corral the ball and were like inches of the goal every time, damn near. So it's going to be an exciting season. But shout out to everybody that took some time out either for yourself, took some time out and, played with your kids, did something interesting this weekend. I'd love to hear about what y'all did. We all about family and building community on this show. I talk a lot of shit, but I build too. All right. I back up what I say. I build too. I spend time with my family. How about you? What's going on, Miss Jill? Or Jill's Chocolate Boutique. I ordered some chocolate from her this weekend, and you should too. Inquire. Milk chocolate is my favorite. Y'all be doing dark chocolate and all that other white chocolate. Nope, milk chocolate for me. Milk chocolate for me. But y'all get those likes up right now, man. Get those likes all the way up. It's good to be with y'all today. We got an interesting set of topics for you on the Trigger Mike Show today. All right, so hit that subscribe button if you have not. Hit that subscribe button and subscribe to the Lapeef Network. This is the greatest network on YouTube, giving you all the fire content. All right, all the way from Sunday to Saturday. All right, the beginning to the end of the week, we got content for you in the form of long form shows, live, all right, clips, shorts, everything. You want it, we got it. Make sure you tell someone we are on the road to 100,000 on the Trigger Mike Show. So do us a favor and share this out. Don't leave the stream, but share this out to your people and let them know what you're watching. This show can get somebody through their workday, and we on right about lunchtime. So, tell them to tune in. Tell them to tune in and be active with your people. We know y'all want to participate. We know you want to support, and that's how you can do so. Throughout the show, I will also be reading super chats. If you would like to super chat to your response to anything I'm going to say, please do so. We always appreciate that. This equipment costs money. This is how we finance everything. Through your super chats. If you want to support, that is the best way to do so. And if you are watching this broadcast after it is live, you can still support via a super thanks, and we appreciate that as well. Man, it's good to be with y'all on this Monday. I think we're going to have good weather. So y'all ready for Easter or what? Y'all got those outfits popping or what? I don't have one yet. In fact, I'm going to be flying. I'm going to be flying early Easter, so it's no point for me to even get an outfit. Me and my son flying to D.C., go see my brother and his family. It's my nephew's birthday. And they just had another baby. I haven't even met the chunky boy yet. And I got to be good with my fam. I'm the eldest, so got to set examples around here. Got to set examples, but I'm pumped for that, Who got those Easter outfits working? What y'all got? Who got those Easter outfits working? who about to be at Dillard's? That's where I go. If for some reason Dillard's always got Easter colors on deck. Dillard's is my spot. Yes, I rock a lot of polo, but if I'm trying to get, a button down or anything, Dillard's is my spot. It is absolutely my spot. So I look forward to seeing, what y'all put together. What do we call them? Pastel colors. Got the yellow, the purple pastel, the green pastel. Yep, we got them on deck. Number 10 is reserved for the best player on the soccer team. I don't know. My son is number 3. But if that is true, they're gonna have to come up off that number 10. And look, I know it takes a long time to see results, but me and this boy, I thought he was behind. So all we practice is passing and stopping the ball. And somehow he took that little bit of practice and his speed and translated it into a whole bunch of other things. Well, I think I got myself a natural, but he gonna play baseball. He gonna play baseball too. Who we got in the chat so I can give y'all some shout outs this morning? Leaked, what's going on? Blue Anon, how you doing? Infinite Amp, what's going on? Hack, Jill's Chocolate Boutique, my man, Mr. He Said. East Chanel, what's going on? Demetrius Carter, what's up? Jay Marie, good afternoon. Good afternoon to you. All right, let's get it popping today on the Trigger Mike Show. Let's get it popping today. We got a good bevy of topics for you, man. A lot of stuff happened over the weekend, really over the last week, that y'all need to know about, that I want to talk about. It's a lot buzzing out here in these YouTube streets, a lot buzzing out here in the social sphere, and we need to talk about it. We need to get feelings. We need to get feelings and thoughts and how people are really looking at these situations out here. So if you didn't know already, the top G is free. Not really, but he is. So one time, man, if you rock with Andrew Tate and you think what's going on with him right now is a travesty, show him some love in the chat. Because, man, I'm a seeker of truth. That's all I'm going to say. I'm a seeker of truth. You understand me? And I can't really find people's problem with the guy. I can't really find people's problem with the dude. When somebody is speaking that much truth, but they want to kill, they don't want to kill the message because they can't. They got to kill the messenger. But let me go into it. The top G is free. The top G is free. Andrew Tate and his brother Tristan Tate are free. They got out of the Romanian jail where they were being held. They spent 3 months in there. 3 months without a shred of evidence. And the charge, I believe the main charge, is sex trafficking. Now, a lot of the time when women hear that, it's guilty. I mean, let's be real. In our society, as soon as women see a man, especially a man that they don't like, or they have a reason not to like, a man that's not kissing their ass, and they see any kind of charge levied against this man, they automatically going to believe it's true. That's just what they want to believe. But let's define what sex trafficking means. All right, let's define that for those people that may not know. The Google definition of sex trafficking is the action or practice of illegally transporting people from one country to another for the purpose of sexual exploitation. Now, I read that, and that was pretty interesting. That was pretty interesting. That definition is pretty interesting because for those of you that are unclear about what that possibly means, ladies, getting flued out can be viewed as sex trafficking if the woman ends up getting an attitude or someone is just out to get you. Y'all hear what I said? Getting flued out can be viewed as sex trafficking. They're trying to break this man. Y'all take these definitions a little out of context sometimes. I thought I'd provide you a little context on the topic. Y'all take this stuff severely out of context. It does not mean someone, I know what y'all think it means. Y'all looking at the cartel version. Someone is just trafficking in girls and creating networks of trafficking, and girls go here, girls go there, they drug them, they do all this type of stuff. Contextually, for the average man that's charged with this, it means that you can have a bunch of women over your house. You can have a bunch of women over your house, and one wants to be the main woman, and you like, I'm not looking for a woman. So she just leaves and go to the police station and says there's women in that house, and I think they're being held against their will. This is the charge they're gonna levy against you. Now, fellas, you got to be careful, man. We living in a world now where people don't want to see us win. And a man like the top G, like Andrew Tate, he tells it like it is. Women want to be around him. He don't even have to call them. They'll follow him around. So you got to be careful out here, man. They don't want to see you win. They don't want to see that. Love C, good afternoon. Good afternoon to you. Twizzy, what's going on? Natasha's here. How you doing? Y'all got to be careful out in these streets indeed. Not one shred of evidence. Because, listen, I got to give it up for my fellas. I heard many a men say, damn, when they took them in, the first thing you thought was, all right, well, where's the evidence? Where's the person stepping up to say this happened to him? You see no one of the sort. So you got to ask yourself, what's next for Andrew Tate? What's next for the top G and his affiliates and his brother? According to the Independent, it has been reported that he's going to remain on house arrest until April 29th. All right, so he's free, but not really. A lot of y'all in the States know what that's like. He's free, but not really. They might try to catch him on a technicality. Y'all know what that's like. So let me give you my thoughts on this, y'all. What's going on with the country of Romania and Andrew Tate, and why they detained him and his brother and kept them without evidence for 3 months? This is a campaign to silence him and drive him out of Romania. What do y'all think? This is a political campaign to silence him and drive him out of Romania. Romania is a European country, remember. Feminism exists in Europe. In some areas, it's pretty damn bad, too. You see, let me tell you something, man. Fellas, take heed, and ladies especially. Take notice. Masculinity is rising once again. It's going to threaten a lot of people. Men are waking up and taking control of their own narrative. The worst part about it is that has been happening. It never stopped happening. But y'all found a masterful way to try to silence men, to try to cut our nuts off, as people like to say. Y'all were masterful at that and have been for decades. But masculinity is rising once again. Now we got balls of steel. You just can't cut them shit so easily. All right? That's going to threaten a lot of people. Andrew Tate is one of many men that will have his character assassinated because you can't really doubt his masculinity. It's too forceful. It's too dominant. But ain't that the way nature's supposed to work? Radical feminists, I want you to watch the radical feminists. The reason they get so threatened, at men like Andrew Tate, forget the man, forget what he's doing. Listen to his words. What is he speaking? Ladies, everything you say you want, he's telling men to do. But y'all don't like it that way. And you can't have it both ways. He's telling men to get on their job, to get on their purpose. He's telling them to get in shape, to take control of their narrative and their family. He's telling them to do everything you're going to eventually benefit from. But since you don't get to be top dog, Since you get to be Mrs. G and not the top G, you got an attitude. Watch the radical feminists. This is how they do. This is how they do. They get threatened because masculinity dominates femininity naturally. When women get on the panel, they can't even talk unless we make space for them. Masculinity is naturally dominant. Y'all know that. Andrew Tate is one of many that's going to have his character assassinated. But in war, there are casualties. But when the war is won, these people will be heroes. Y'all know how we get down. We don't forget. We don't forget. They tried this with Kevin Samuels. Am I lying? They tried it. They tried it with him. Shoot, his death only made him more popular. They're going to try it with Andrew Tate. Look at all these people rising up now. Look at all these disciples. They're not taking no for an answer. They won't be silenced because masculinity is superior. What patriarchy? What patriarchy? Patriarchy is life. You want to build something? Where on earth do you see anything built of significance where men ain't present? Where you have running water, where you have economic advancement, engineering excellence, health, and men aren't present and dominant. Y'all tripping. These radical feminists can't do that. They can't maintain that. That's why they're tripping. They want to indoctrinate your kids. They want everybody to be fluid. They want us to call them. Hell no. Masculinity is common sense. Y'all feel me? That's why they don't like it. Masculinity tends to favor common sense, and they can't no longer blur the lines. Masculinity likes things black and white. The radical feminists want to make things gray. Y'all know I speak on that all the time. So I got a question for y'all. Let me know in the chat. Let me read some of this stuff aloud. Why do you think this is happening to brother Andrew Tate and his brother Tristan Tate? Why do you think this is happening to those folks? Twizzy says, if women can exploit men on lonely fans, then you should be able to pimp a little bit. All right. She said, Miss Bliss says in the U.S. it can also mean state lines. That's why that definition was a little hazy. If you want to be real, it can mean state lines or local. In some municipalities, if you take somebody out the district too far away from their home, it may not stick, but they can charge you. They can charge you. Y'all better get some context about what this stuff means. Listen, my man Jeffrey Rice, you speaking facts right now, bro. They want masculinity only when it suits them. Ladies, let me tell you something. You can't have it both ways. Life is not your buffet. You can't take parts of masculinity. You can't take the protection end of it and then try to dominate us after the fact. No, thank you. You either want all of it or you benefit from none of it. This new world we're creating, this new world we have, is only for women that want all masculine men. Don't shame us for being us. True words spoken here. All right. Let's get into our second topic, and I'm going to drop the link now for anybody that wants to come up. So the second thing we're talking about today is what do y'all heard about TikTok? Y'all heard about TikTok being banned? Ooh, they're debating that on Capitol Hill as we speak. They are debating that. Capitol Hill is debating on banning TikTok. Now, if you ask yourself why is TikTok getting banned? For those of you who are very astute and well read, you already know why that's getting banned. Because all of our favorite apps that we've been using throughout the years have been American, made by American made companies. Facebook, American made. Instagram, American made. Snapchat, American made. All of these. Twitter, American made. TikTok, my man Demetrius Carter said it, is from China. Now, some people don't look at it like this because they don't think we have beef with countries like China, but China is our number one adversary in a variety of ways. Y'all better pick up a book. Y'all better pick up a book or something. China is our number one adversary in a variety of ways. They are trying to pick the U.S. apart from the inside out. All right, hit that link. Y'all come up. So, according to the New York Times, the popular app is under pressure amid concerns of handling of users' data. That should concern you. So I don't know if y'all know, I do have a TikTok page, and I was going to scale it up because it's very easy to go viral on TikTok. Like right now, I'm doing numbers on Instagram. I had 500 followers in January. I got like damn near 4,500 now. So I'm doing numbers on Instagram, and I could have did greater numbers on TikTok. But once I heard that months ago, I started scaling down my participation on TikTok. The government is very slow. They are very slow to do a lot of things. So when they put pressure and want to get this done fast, that should tell you something. They don't work a lot. They don't work, or they're not always up to par on what's going on. And if they want to do this, that means there's no advantage to them. And that should make you think, is it an advantage to you? You might be the one getting played. I'm just saying, if you know how our government works. Growing worries. The Biden administration wants ByteDance, the Chinese company that owns TikTok, to sell the app or face possible ban over national security concerns. Now, you got to think, all of those apps that I named for you, Facebook, Instagram, Twitter, Snap, what are some other ones that y'all like using? Let me know in the chat. I don't know. I don't be up on all of them. Should I still use Facebook? Some of y'all left that shit a long time ago. LinkedIn, WhatsApp, all this stuff. All of that is American made. All of them can get called to the congregation within one day to come answer for something they've done. All of them with an immediate effect have to comply with what Congress wants. Whether it's over privacy, accepting payments, what they're marketing, the way they use data, they got to be responsible for all of it because they're on U.S. soil. These are American companies. Now think what happens if the most popular, y'all know TikTok is the most popular as far as users using on an active basis, the fastest growing app, TikTok is the champ, has been for years. TikTok is the champ. So imagine people flocking and sending all of their data, their location info, their payment info to a country that can't really be regulated by the American government. That should give you pause and make you understand why the U.S. government wants to ban this company. I stopped using it for this particular reason. Now, what are my thoughts on this? And I want to know what y'all think as well. I want to know what y'all think. This TikTok app absolutely needs to be banned. It's going to ruin a lot of y'all's influencers' money. I get it. A lot of people are making bread off of TikTok. They got notoriety off of TikTok. But TikTok is weird, man. They can selectively choose what goes viral outside of the algorithm. They can selectively choose what goes viral. Any thinking person should understand what that means. And as a basis of thought, I want you to use this particular fact. If they choose what goes viral in this country, ask yourself, what do they do on this app in their own country? Have y'all heard that TikTok in China looks nothing like the American version? It has been reported by Americans in China, not by China, not by anybody, any unworthy news outlet or anything. Well, credible sources have reported, and Americans teaching English in China, doing government jobs in China, working for the embassy, whatever, have reported the app doesn't even look the same in China. You can go to TikTok for homework help in China. There are people playing instruments on TikTok in China, playing in groups, uh, achieving things, dancing in unison, showing pride for the country. This is all the stuff they allow on TikTok in China. But if I want to see the latest twerk video, if I want to see somebody doing something they shouldn't be doing that may lead to their death, all I got to do is go to the American version of the app. Hmm. That should tell you something. If the American government, that's slow to basically do anything, wants to put this to bed early, that means the CIA is telling them, yo, listen, you might want to get on this. It's a matter of national security. They don't take that lightly. I've been a member of the government. Trust me, they don't take that lightly. Let me tell y'all something about the term privacy concerns, because y'all hear that come up a lot. And a lot of people don't even understand what it means or how they're going to be affected by it. The only way most people think about privacy concerns is identity theft. No, it goes way deeper than that, Chief. It goes way deeper than that. Privacy concerns is probably very complex, more complex than, the average American can understand. But let me try to explain something to you. Let me give you some small thoughts on this. Some of my small thoughts, because I don't even have expansive thoughts. I'll be talking all day. Let me take a few guesses as to why they want to ban this app. TikTok, I just told you, is the fastest growing app and has the highest rate of use in the United States of America. So just imagine if a Chinese company and the Chinese government, which has access and regulates TikTok over there, had the data to wirelessly interlink the devices of high-profile officials and their families. So just imagine this. If you are a high-profile official, president, senator, Navy SEAL, they know your name. They know your location. Where are you going home to at night? Do you go to home on base? Do you go to sleep on base while your family is at home? No, you go home from the base. Now they can understand the proximity between you and other TikTok users. They know this person who registered under this last name must be family with this other high-profile target that we have. Use that person's profile to get data about this person. Use the location data, the proximity guidance to put all that together. Now we know where you are. Would you want a foreign government having that much access? I don't think so. Another funny part about this, if y'all think I'm getting paranoid, another funny thing here that y'all don't understand with all these filters and stuff that y'all are doing. Facial recognition profiles have been made on 100 million Americans and counting. They not only know where you stay, They not only know who your children are, they got a facial recognition profile on you from a picture you took and the filters you use, the pictures you keep taking. Come on, man. Y'all give these people too much. They need to ban this app right away. And they said, it also has been reported, if this ban goes through and you try to access, y'all seen this stuff before. Y'all know that this is how they get down when they want to crack down on something. If you use a VPN and you're caught doing so, you will be going to jail. I'm not sure. Somebody tell me what it said. You'll be going to jail. I just forget the maximum sentence there or the proposed sentence for it. So they're not playing around with TikTok. If they say this is a matter of national security, the government plays a lot. The government lies a lot. The government omits information. But when they say the words national security, they mean economy. Nobody wants to mess with the economy on purpose, at least not for their own benefit. And this is not to their benefit, so it's not to yours either. I'd pay attention. All right, so last on the docket, let me drop this link again. I got a few of y'all in the back. I see you, CBN. Listen, I got great news. I read this yesterday and I was stupid hype, okay? They said participation trophies are going to be banned, or they're looking at banning participation trophies in the state of North Carolina. I was hype. I saw a commercial years ago where they gave the winner a participation trophy, not even a special trophy. Everybody got the same trophy, and it was a black dad. If y'all remember the commercial, let me know. He was like, He crossed it out and put champ and was like, there you go, champ. Ain't no damn participation trophy. This is what I mean when I say masculinity is rising again. When did the era of the participation trophy come about? Can y'all correlate the existence of the participation trophy with any significant moment in history? I'll wait. When did all of this come about? When did people suggest that everybody could be winners and nobody really has to lose and everybody can feel great about something even if they lost and they sucked? The alphabet community, of course. Rise in feminism, absolutely. Rise in radical feminism gave way to all this BS. They say North Carolina state senators want to eliminate participation trophies handed out by youth sports leagues that are run by the local government. I absolutely agree on this, y'all. 100% I agree on this, and it needs to happen. It needs to happen right away. DJ Smoke says around that time, soccer moms were a thing. Soccer moms always been a thing. MS Best, with leftism, feminism rising to openly trying to destroy the society. Absolutely. Fathers know. Dads know somebody got to lose. Let me tell you, I just told you, my son lost. My son lost. He came to me with his hands up because he played a great game and said, did we win? I said, no, you didn't score any goals. It didn't take 1 hour for him to, after he started sulking and had his head down, he said, Daddy, yes. Can we practice scoring goals? That's it. He had to understand that he lost. Can we practice scoring goals? Because I was great, but I want to win. Ain't no participation trophies out here. Somebody can lose every week, every minute of their life. It's supposed to give them a hunger to win. It makes you value the win. Participation trophies, my ass. Let me get a thumbs up, Mr. Rich. All right. CBN. Power up, JT. Can I get a thumbs up? Can you come on cam real quick? All right, bet. How y'all doing this morning
Yeah, fine.
Pretty
or
good, but
afternoon?
I'm doing
sore.
Okay. All right, what y'all got on the topic? Let's start off with Andrew Tate being free. We'll start off with opening thoughts. Mr. Rich, you got the floor.
Hey, listen, I thought that was a good thing, you know. The only thing with Andrew Tate that I hope he corrects.
Mhm.
Let's just say everything he's doing in the sex business is legit. He needs to divest himself from that. Nobody with the message that he has to say can be connected to the sex business in any way, even if it's legal. He
Mm.
needs to get out of that. And you know, that's all I have to say on him. He needs to get out of that because his message is being tainted by the fact that they can get through him through this hole he's providing them. He's giving them a weapon against them because it's just a dirty business, and up kind of men shouldn't be dealing with that, or people in general. So he's got to find another way to make money, and it can't be in the sex business. That's one. I don't care if it's call girl. I mean, you know, like the radio thing, the telephone stuff, and all that kind of. He needs to get out of that. And
Agreed.
I don't know what his business is like right now, but that's one thing he's got to do. What's the other one?
No, we can start off just with Tate, and then we're gonna move
Oh,
on.
okay, cool. So, hey, listen, Top G is the man. I got
Yeah.
all my female cousins and aunts. Everybody's against me. I tell them, man, go kick rocks. I said, men need to have somebody standing up, holding their Johnsons, and telling you guys to shut the fuck up. Just shut
Yeah.
up. You know, this is our business. That's why I have this whole same thing with the Pearly issue about all the blackity blacks and all that.
Mhm.
You know, she's just one white woman. We shouldn't be in this turmoil because of that. That just pisses me off. I don't want to go down that line, but men need to stand up and say, listen, we can work our own problems out. We don't need you to tell us what to do. Just shut the F up. And
Yep.
so that's that, you know. And but I like Andrew. Listen, his first press conference is gonna probably get like a half a million. I mean, not half a million. I have a half a billion views over the next month or two. As soon as he get behind the mic, shave up, and have his first thing, I wonder if the Romanian government is going to try to ban him from doing that.
I mean, it's obvious they're trying to ban him
Period.
completely.
Yes.
So they're trying to run him out of there.
But it doesn't matter where he's at. He don't need to be in Romania.
Yeah, he don't need to be there. I hope he
Yeah.
gets out.
So that's what I have on that. Let's go around the horn.
All right, CBN, what you got? Opening thoughts. Andrew Tate is free. How you feel about that?
It's just a matter of time because first and foremost, what the man stands for, which have been known in the 50, the 60, the 70, the 40, what man's supposed to be. And when you have a somewhat weak society with no strong foundation trying to fight against that, because for one, I think almost the same way he thinks. This gender neutrality nonsense, I don't want to name my kids. Boy need to be masculine, it have to be. A woman to the woman, a female to female. I grew up wanting to be strong, which is why I took mixed martial art. Which is why I took Shichiryu karate. Which is why I was trying to audition for UFC. Which is why I lift weight. I wasn't trying to be a weakling. I played soccer, I did basketball, I did volleyball, I play all kinds of sports. When I lose, guess what it make me do? It make me go back, train even 3 times harder to make sure I'm not losing again. So when I see all this type of shenanigan of toxic masculinity BS, the first thing came to my mind is, who bought up this BS from? Who made up this nonsense? Like, are you for real? Are you pulling my leg? Like, seriously? Because when I hear that a lot, I try to ask myself, am I in the twilight zone? Or is just everybody around me losing their goddamn mind.
Mhm.
And when you have people like Andrew Tate and Jordan Peterson and many other, Jordan Peterson and Andrew Tate think the same way, but Jordan Peterson being a professor in psychology, he going much deeper than Andrew Tate. But Andrew Tate was more blunt with it. He was more like, it is what it is. Let's stop the cap. And he wasn't afraid to say that. Plus, he's a fellow mixed martial artist. So, on that note, it is what it is. The fact that you have so many content creators who came on the YouTube, on Instagram, and I hate to say this, for you guys who did these hit pieces who have no information about what's going in the court system, y'all are complete utter idiots. Now that he's out, I hope it doesn't hurt your channel. But if it does, do it. We don't need you on the platform. I'm just saying, I don't just go out there and put information I have no idea about. What goes on in Romania is not the same in the US. And I'm trying to ask myself, how many dumbass people that came on the platform trying to speak? I'm sorry. I'm allergic to stupid, dumb, retarded people. If you don't know the system, shut the hell up. Watch and observe. Stop trying to put something when you think it is when you don't know jack about it. So when I watch people, I'm an IT professional. So when I see people do that, it got me thinking I need to make sure my son and my daughter do not get the same type of virus that produce dumb, idiotic people. Hey guys, I don't like stupid, dumb people. That's just me. When you try to sound smart, you sound like a damn jabroni. So I ain't taking my punch back. Stop the nonsense. Him coming out to make you look like a complete utter fool now. What are you going to do now? Are you going to walk it back or what? I'm just checking. I always say, let's see the evidence, let's wait and see. Don't make no assumption. But now that he's out, I'm scratching my head. How many people on YouTube, Instagram, and all the other came out there trying to say all kind of nonsense, and now they're shaking in the boat, they're trying to figure out, oh, how I'm going to spend this. Well, what dojo you came for the lunch pin just to, I hope you're going to do the extra more because actually, if the truth comes out all this against it with force, y'all look like a utter idiot. And I hope you lose your subscriber, you lose your view afterwards. I know one thing about the system, the internet, and when you come to a multiple international entity, don't say things that you do not know anything about. All you gotta do is read, do your research, make sure you verify the source is legit. If the source is not legit and you go on your channel and run your mouth like a complete retarded donkey, then people should treat you like a donkey and put you behind in a zoo. Other than that, that's what I gotta say.
All right, power up, JT. Welcome. I don't think you've been here before, man. Welcome to the Trigger Mike show.
I'm always catching the back end
Uh,
of it. I'm
can
on the
barely
road,
hear
so
you, man.
oh my bad. You can't
There
hear
you
me
go.
now?
Yeah.
Yeah, I said I'm always catching the back end of it. I'm always on the road, so I saw you in the day. I said let me come and hop on.
Bet.
But I think they was just trying to tarnish his name. I think that's what it all boils down to. I think they tried to pull the same thing with Kevin Samuels, but I think Kevin kept it way more classy, so they couldn't say nothing to him until after he passed, with the woman being there. But as far as Andrew Tate, I think what they charged him with and what all they said he was doing it. I think they were just sensationalizing it, making it a little bit more seeming more worse than what it really was. I don't think he technically did anything illegal. For one, they released him. I don't know if they charged him on anything. What they charged him, I don't know if they are pulling forward with the charges or not. But apparently, some of the women that this was supposed to allegedly have went on with a lot of them were bribed into testifying against him, which most of them chose not to take the bribe, um, which says a lot considering how a lot of women want money and stuff. That says a lot. And the I think it was two of them that did take the bribe, then came back. and recanted their statement, and nobody posted that. Nobody said anything about how the women who wrote a statement about him and said that he agreed that he was doing these egregious things, then came back and said they just lied for money and they were just doing it for attention. So as far as Andrew Tate, I think they just didn't want him in the picture. He was one of those guys that were gonna get men going down the path that men used to go down, and I think they trying to switch lanes for the male masculinity right now, and that what he does and what he preaches goes against their agenda. And Andrew Tate, he what he says and does might seem worse than what it really is, but people like drama, people like sensation. So he does that to captivate your attention, and then he goes back and tells you what you need to hear. Kind of like Charleston White. He gonna say anything to get your attention, but once he got your attention, he gonna tell you what he really trying to get done. And I think that's what Andrew Tate was doing, and they realized that he was getting a little too well known, a little too much, too many people were following him and being inspired by him. So I think they just did something to tarnish his name. If does anybody here know if they went through with the charges? Because I just heard they released them. I don't know
No,
what's going on
no, they
after
don't
this.
have any evidence, man.
No.
They don't have
Yeah,
any
that's what I
evidence.
figured.
They can't go through with it. As a matter of fact, they were gonna extend his they're just poking, looking for stuff, looking for a credible witness. So they kept extending his
Hmm.
jail time, but it was an American. Some
Hmm.
like that came through and was like, you cannot hold somebody for this long without any evidence. So
Yeah.
it was that like the embassy got involved and got him out. So there's
It's a
that. And at
violation.
first
It's a
I thought
violation of
that was
human rights.
weird.
And
The
and
first
and I,
part is I thought that was weird until I remember he was born here.
Right.
He was
yeah.
raised in the UK, but he
Right.
was born here. So all this stuff about the American justice system, at least sometimes he can come to your aid in the name of
And
like actual justice. Because let me tell you that right there, when you want to talk about like what's the word Trump used to use, witch hunt, when they're
yeah.
detaining you just to find dirt on you, that is what defines a witch hunt. They're illegally detaining you just so you can't run or they want to make a case without your interference. That
Yeah.
that is what a witch
Yeah.
hunt.
So,
And
Mike,
let
let me
me
ask
tell
you a
you
question.
this, they said that Romania couldn't even afford to investigate him, so they seized his vehicles to pay for the investigation to try to get him up on something. So I was like, that's crazy. And nobody had said anything about him getting all his Lamborghinis and Bentleys and Bugattis back. They seized the vehicles to pay into looking into what he did wrong, as if they didn't have the evidence already. So I mean, it is at that point you realize that they're just trying anything. They said the main reason was with the American woman having an allegation on him about her being kidnapped by him, and he told the story about how she pretty much lied. Her boyfriend found out that she was over in Romania with the Tate brothers, and she lied like she didn't want to be there. And they reviewed the camera footage and saw her leave the property to go get a pizza and walk back in. So obviously, if you were kidnapped or didn't want to be there, that was your time to leave.
Yeah.
Let me
Can I
add to
ask you
that.
a question?
Hold on. Let me add to that. What was done? Her boyfriend saw her on Instagram posting picture, hanging around with the Andrew Tate. He called, and right then and there, you know how you wanna save yourself? She made it seem like she was kidnapped when she wasn't, because she didn't want to feel like, why you fly out there and didn't let me know you going over there?
Shit, get her
Hmm.
cheeks busted, man. What are you talking
And
about?
then her boyfriend called the embassy, and that's why they ended up coming to see about it because he believed her that she was
Like
kidnapped,
every,
and
yeah,
and she was just saying that because she didn't want him to know that she was down there with the Tate brothers getting
getting her
down.
cheeks busted. Yep, that's it. And let me ask a question:
Yeah.
should he stay in the sex business or not, even if it was legal?
No.
No,
What you said was
no,
absolutely fact. So
no,
you
he shouldn't
can't
do that.
really speak the way he's speaking and have ties, like you said, to that type of work anymore.
Yeah,
Right. So it's almost as if, unfortunately, dudes will take this as a loss because it's something women can benefit from and not really get scathed by it is bad. They'll get branded, whores and all that type of stuff we like to call them. But as far as their own collective image and uh of what they're trying to say won't be damaged. So I think he has become so impactful that he may not even realize that he shouldn't be involved in that anymore. I don't think he realizes his messages has evolved just past like masculinity coaching and hustling and doing all this stuff to the point where he's basically a symbol for everything radical feminism is trying to silence. And it's not that he needs to be squeaky clean, because a part of being masculine is like, yo, I do whatever I want, whoop-de-whoop. The sad part is that entire governments can now assemble to either lie on you and distract you, silence you. And so it's like, if you want to reduce their ability to mobilize against you, he might have to make some concessions.
He's going to have to start moving differently, because as big as he is now, that message that he's trying to throw on top of the masculinity thing is kind of going against the grain. So it's kind of it makes him seem more hypocritical, and it gives people who don't like him more ammo to use against him when he's in that type of stuff. But he's at a level now where he's gonna have to start maneuvering um in a more safer manner than a normal human being, let alone the average millionaire. He could have been a little more reckless when he first came out, but now it's like a lot of stuff that he could do on a day-to-day basis that he probably is used to doing. Even that somebody like me and you that isn't that high of a celebrity does, he might have to let some of that stuff go.
Absolutely. I mean, damn. And look, that I think that's the part where for most prominent men, that where you have to give up parts of yourself to keep your movement and your message going, right? Because we no longer live in a world where you can say anything, right? But that's really what you're supposed to be able to do. So I could say anything, do anything, my work speaks for itself, but still they're going to use that to assassinate your character. And it's not, this is the part that's really insidious about it. It's not the fact that you did anything for a man. It's the allegation that kills you. The allegation. Right. So just keep mounting those on top of each other. They know that. They know people will believe you'll split the public on someone by simply making an allegation. Let me get these super chats read. We're going to move on. Charlie Brown, $10. Appreciate that. It says, it began when we started entertaining the notion that everyone deserves free health care and the government and should have the government cover basic needs. It's baffling. I absolutely agree. That was a good one. Real Pookie, $2 says, being a pimp is the standard. These are our heroes. Not really. Think you took what I said out of context. Let's continue. $5. Raise your hand if you wouldn't mind your daughters working or being with Andrew Tate. The cap. All right. So this is a very unintelligent statement. Pookie, the fact that I had to say unintelligent and then the word Pookie after that pretty sums it up. But this is the interesting part. This is one of what we talk about when we say people are extreme. I can agree with Andrew Tate on a variety of things. And I do agree with him on a variety of things. I disagree with him on a lot of things. The reason why is because I'm a husband. I want my daughter to be with a man like me. Andrew Tate is not husband material. He doesn't try to be either. He told you what he's looking for in life, what he finds interesting, what he finds attractive. Even a part of his bravado is over on the bachelor side, like the bachelor for life side. Why the fuck would I want my daughter to be with a bachelor for life? That's idiotic. He's not a husband.
We all just agree we didn't like the sex work part of it.
Yeah, it's like this is what the people try to do, and this is probably a woman. This is probably a woman. The real Pookie is a woman. Women say shit like this.
Unfortunately, she could be a man.
Women say shit like
a whole bunch of sips out there.
So this is the funny part about women in general. They have to agree with everything someone says in order to like them. This is why they can't keep friends for long, because if the friend has one disagreement with them, that's it's over for the friendship. Yeah, my best homies, I literally can have a conversation looking like we about to fight because I disagree with something that they say. They still my homies though. I agree with a lot of things Andrew Tate says, especially about masculinity and what men need to do to further their own purpose in their life. Because I'm a man. He's a man. We find common ground where we can, and we disagree on other things. That's it. Like y'all be taking everything to
But
extreme.
hey, you know what, Trigger Mike? Unfortunately, there's not a lot of men who move like that. Not enough, right? The guys in the West, especially, have lost that innate thing to man kind of stuff. There was an exchange between TLA and the Angry Man.
Mhm.
It was a real short, brief exchange. He was on the TLA show,
Yeah.
and Angry Man said something bad about TLA. And in retaliation, TLA didn't read a super chat.
Yeah. I saw that part.
You saw that, right? You saw that
Yeah.
exchange?
Yeah.
Did you see how they handled that? That's how
Mhm.
men handle stuff. TLA, he said, yeah, I got a beef with you. He said, what's the beef? He said, well, you didn't read my super chat. Yeah, because you was on your channel cursing me out. And Angry Man started laughing, and it was over like that.
Like that. You see
Like
what I'm
that. Like
But
that.
it's this is how I know that's a woman. Women do not understand that discourse can be civil, and that once it's over, it can be forgotten.
Right.
Women say, "I have drama, I have beef, I hate you for life." This is like I don't have to agree with everything Andrew Tate says, or even if I do agree with him and some of his viewpoints, does not mean I want my daughter to marry it.
Exactly.
Like, look at these damn excuses. Like it's crazy to me. Oh man. But let's continue. Perry unlikely, $5. He's on house arrest, still facing charges. Formal charges must be brought by June, and the trial must start then or he is free. All right. Hopefully that checks out. Either way, man, they're doing a witch hunt after your boy.
No doubt.
I'm gonna drop
Let me
the
tell you
link.
something. Look, let me
We
tell you
got
something.
two of our favorites in the chat.
Uh-oh.
We got Callie Bev and
Oh, no.
Fantasy Island Girl. Callie
Oh.
Bev, just go ahead and bring the terrorism up here. We want to witness it. We
Let
want
me
to
tell you
witness
something real quick.
It
I had
was
to agree with
live.
with
Right
Rich.
now.
Hold on.
Go ahead.
I had
Sorry.
to agree with Rich because I noticed in some of the panel that Jay was on, he was somewhat in, I can't say directly, but he was making clear that people go to OnlyFans and how I want to word it. We should told you the quick. He cannot have that business if he were talking down on people who are making the money off OnlyFans. So it would look like a contradiction. You see it that way. You got a business that's nowhere different from what OnlyFans is doing. But you are committing towards the family movement that's utilize OnlyFans to their own advantage. So it will kind of like it will look like a contradiction to have a business that's almost similar to what OnlyFans is doing. That's how I look at it. Am I wrong?
Yeah. No, you're not wrong. All right, let me get this next topic going. So, TikTok ban legislation, as y'all know, the Senate is debating what the hell they're going to do with this app. It's the most popular app by traffic and fastest growing app in the U.S. So I got a question for y'all. Anybody can go first. Is China trying to infiltrate the U.S. using this social media app?
That's not new. Here's the problem. That has been known for more than a year about what TikTok really is.
Yep.
And I know people in cybersecurity arena in the IT arena, they would tell you it's not something safe to allow on your network. India banned it when they caught out what they're doing. The fact there are two versions of TikTok, the one they have is more educational to uplift and educate their young generation compared to the one that's given to the rest of the world is to dumb it down. That's the irony behind it. Plus, what you just mentioned, they don't have no argument. They pick and choose what to go viral, what should not go viral. We have Black Men Unfiltered who mentioned some of the stuff he put on TikTok was taken down when it kind of struck a nerve toward to a particular group, like the quote unquote feminine movement. It got shut down. So Hell Speak will go to the same similar issue. Anyone that going viral based on a certain theme or topic that is legit, that it totally against another group. If that group within that company is like, we don't want it, let's shut this one down. They don't let the argument make its own choice. They make the choice by themselves. And for an IT perspective, why would I let a particular app that you deem that come from a particular country to be a threat? when during the Bush administration, they were working to remove all the chips and hardware that came from China out of their own network. Make that make sense. I know American public have a short attention span, but they deem China as their adversary. They forgot that most of their networks run on hardware produced and made in China. So if they were trying to move those particular hardware, like server, the chip, whatever that it comes from China out of their network, why would they let an app also remain on their network?
Yeah. 187. Can I get a thumbs up? All right.
So when I know about this,
can go next. Is China trying to infiltrate the U.S. using TikTok?
I don't really know about that. I would say possibly, yes. I more want to comment on the two different types of TikTok.
Go ahead.
So I think that each country has the appropriate version of TikTok that fits that country. Because let's be straight, Americans don't give a fuck about educational shit, man. They just want the drama and the fuckery. Chinese people, they care about that shit. So I think each country gets a dose of what they want.
I don't think Chinese people care about it. I just think their country makes them care about it.
It would
China gives you no
but
option.
But hold up. How is that bad? How is that bad?
I never said it was bad. I never said it was bad. I'm with you on that. I'm just saying I don't think they have as much of an option as we do.
Well, maybe less options is better.
I gotta put that.
I never said it was bad. All I'm saying is with China, with the social credit score and all of their surveillance cameras and stuff, like China has what they give to you on lock. YouTube is the same way in China. You can't watch every video on YouTube in China. It's certain websites that we have that isn't even available over there, and they have to have VPNs just to see half of the stuff that we even see. Now, is it a bad thing or not? I'm not saying it's a bad thing. I'm just saying that's the reason why.
They don't want no.
Oh, you blocked out. You're on mute. You're on mute. 187.
187.
You got on mute. You're on mute. 187.
You're on mute, bro. We can't hear you. You're on mute.
Can't hear you.
You're on mute.
You don't know. You're on mute.
You're on mute.
You gotta take off your mute.
So let me respond. So he did speak facts. I'm not gonna lie. That was big facts. So when he said Americans don't want this version, the particular issue that I think the U.S. government, aside from the privacy concerns, if you can make things go viral on your own, you have an agenda, right? Let Americans consume how they consume. You see what I'm saying? But if you are downplaying certain things and then making other things go viral, then that is an agenda. So that is manipulation of like the market. That's almost like doing some kind of weird stuff with stocks, right? So if you choose what goes viral, you can choose who makes money. You can choose who gets a certain type of marketing. It's even a way to even funnel money into certain markets, right? So, well, Black Gold says, can I prove that the American CEO of TikTok was in front of Congress last week and was asked straight to his face, can y'all make things go viral at the push of a button? And the fool said yes. So that's your proof.
Can I say something on that? But let's not just blame that on TikTok. YouTube can manipulate the algorithm if they want to.
Yeah,
and
Twitter they was just in court about this.
Yeah, let me just finish. So it's not. We can go to extremes and say that the Chinese have some kind of agenda with TikTok, but they have an agenda with everything. They're buying Africa. They're doing. I mean, they're buying Jamaica. They have They want to be in charge of all the stuff they can be in charge of because they're expanding. They're doing the kind of imperialism that Europe did a long time ago. and they have the resources to do it, and they need more space for their people, right? They got almost 2 billion people on that land. So I'm just trying to say is we shouldn't be surprised that China is the way they are. Matter of fact, it was America who brought on their own demise because they made Chinese government a better capitalist system undercover than we are here in America.
All right,
Let
so
me
let me
Because,
do it.
huh?
Let me do a
Because
slight flip back.
they got. I'm gonna shut up because they understand that capitalism works if you're willing to put a bullet in the head of the cheaters. We don't perp walk our CEOs. You cheat over there, they end you. There's no bullshit. There's no different thing. You, and then they'll let you have a modicum of freedom as long as you don't talk about the state. And so they know how to. I'm just telling you, these guys have learned from the big bear, and they've done it one better, right? And so they're our biggest adversary. We just don't need to go to war with these guys, right? So we got to figure out how we're gonna figure out the pie. Now, if the Republicans ban TikTok, let me tell you, Mike, you're a conservative. You can guarantee that the Democrats are going to win the next 18 elections. They go ahead and do that shit. You might as well forget about any political affiliation you have because the people are going to lose money. And the Republicans, you know how you guys are. You ain't going to put no job programs out there for people to be eating shit in the street. So let me tell you, they're going to vote you guys out of office. We'll have Biden, his son, a transgender, all kinds of shit in the office before y'all ever get back in. That's all I'm saying. Just think of it.
Let me do a slight flip back. China is not trying to buy Africa. Let your William from what's going on in Africa.
They're not buying it. They're just taking it.
No, they're not either.
Oh,
That's
yeah.
why I'm saying just slight pushback. Like I said, if you don't want to tell you that, I'm not going to say too much. Is one, I got an uncle who in a high-level government in Nigeria who retired. So I get information from him directly.
Okay.
So you don't know what's going on in Africa. Number two, I have a classmate. Let me
But
finish.
give me some details.
Number two, a high school classmate of mine who run a major auto manufacturing plant in Nigeria, have 5 locations, is also doing business with China, but they're not buying Africa. The fact that they were trying to do that before a few years back when nobody knew about it, certain country kicked them out. They had to change their game plan. They're doing business with Africa. They're not trying to buy Africa. The moment you're trying to cross the line, trying to buy certain things from them, it becomes a problem. I'm well versed because I'm a Nigerian. I go back and forth with my relatives out there. So you may not know that.
No,
So you
but
can
Nigeria might be the well, before you go crazy, right?
It's not that Nigeria. It's not that Nigeria alone. There's Ghana, there's Kenya, there's Uganda.
Before you get too emotional about this, Nigeria is not all of Africa. Every country in Africa is not as strong as Nigeria. Is that true?
And
is that true? Yes or no?
That I know, but let me also say this: it's
Congo,
not the only African country. Yes, they're doing business, but they're not selling their land. Here the problem is, during the 2011-2012 election, which not a lot of people don't pay attention to.
I'll shut up now. I'll defer to you on that.
I'm just saying.
I'll defer to you.
During the 2011-2012 election that was going on with Obama and Mitt Romney, China sold their United States debt to the Arab and were trying to invest in Africa. The first 5 years, they were giving out predatory loans. When they caught on to it, there was a massive accident of Chinese people getting kicked out on multiple African countries, which never been publicized in U.S. news, period. Only African who are still connected to their people back in their country knows about this. African Americans don't know anything about that. They want to be careful when you say they're trying to buy Africa, which is not true. They are doing business with Africa since they are the resource headquarters of the world. You're not going to buy something from a nation. They're not going to allow you to do that. You forget about South Africa when they kicked out all the white folk and took the land back. What make you think of let another entity do the same exact thing to them?
Diamond mines back. They don't.
Majority of the diamond mine in Africa is owned by warlords who are Africans.
So that means the people ain't getting shit. The warlords are eating
No,
all the
no,
money.
the warlord, they're like chiefs in their own nation. They're different when you see in Colombia. Unless you understand how Africa think and operate, you cannot say that. Sugar might know this very well because there's certain things we don't speak about too much because within our own people. It's not just Nigeria alone, it's Ghana, multiple African countries as well. That's why we tell people before you assume things, do your homework in depth about certain African countries and how they operate. That's the problem. So
You know, listen,
I get what you're coming from. They're doing business for the sake of building a new currency, building a new economic outside the United States and the UK. That is what's going on.
okay, okay.
Concerning TikTok, TikTok is considered to be a security risk on United States network. And they're banning for a specific reason. It's not all for the Democrat to win election over that because guess what? All these people who out there complaining about their account being hacked or all these things done behind their back, what do you think how that happened? Unless you have an in-depth knowledge how the internet works, there's the reason why they need to remove that. India blocked it for that specific region as well. There was a security software that also being blocked from the country, but from Russia for that same purpose. So unless you are well depth of how the network and internet work, you can't say, oh, since you block TikTok, Democrats go to win. No, it is a security issue. Any IT expert who in cybersecurity will tell you this in your face. You allowed to run in your network when something goes down, it'll be on your head.
Can I say one thing on this whole thing?
Go ahead.
Every time you use your credit card, it's a security issue. Everything you do online is a security issue. Somebody has some information that you probably rather them not have. I mean, PayPal, everything. I mean, yeah, because it's Chinese, that might be a different kind of security issue. But our shit, you know, every American who does business online, your ass is butt naked to the world, and it's just not your chance yet. Let's not let's not fake ourselves out. You know what I'm
Uh,
saying? I mean, so
let's
there's a
let's
certain
get
amount of paranoia we could go to, but all the business that we do online, how can anybody say that? You know,
Now you guys are about to drive me nuts, but keep
yeah.
you're
talking.
Hold on,
Go
hold on.
ahead.
Let's
Go
get
ahead.
Power Up JT in here. What are your
No,
thoughts
go
on
ahead. Go ahead.
TikTok getting banned, bro?
I I
Now I'm
I
not
think
talking yet. Just go ahead.
I think it's not the issue of our information being taken without our knowledge. I think it's who taking the information. Because let's be
right.
real, the U.S. has been taking information from us way longer before China was even in the picture for that. Edward Snowden,
Exactly.
he
Yep.
exposed that and had to leave the country. So, I mean, I think it's just because of who the person is, and I don't think taking the TikTok app, yes, that might help it make it harder for them to get our information. But China is known for having hackers. I mean, they just sent a couple of spy balloons over here for the past 2 or 3 years. They've been spying on us for the longest. So I don't think taking TikTok away is gonna solve the problem. It's gonna be more like a band-aid on a gunshot wound. So I mean,
Hey, Power, let me just say one thing to your point. You can go again. I work for the Department of the Army. I do know that China's cyber hacking organization is as big as the United States Army or bigger. I mean, as big as the United States with a budget to follow. These guys that's their warfare, right? The Army doctrine changed from land, sea, air to cyber as one of the big kind of. I'm just telling you, you
Yep.
know, our shit is butt naked to the world, and we're behind. And you're right, pal. I'll let you go. This is who are we going to give access to the information that's already out there? And I can tell you, the Chinese already have it.
yeah.
They
And then
have a
I
lot of it.
mean,
Go ahead.
and they're so late to the game on it because, mind you, this ain't the first time they talked about getting rid of TikTok. They were talking about this when Trump was in office, when they were trying to get him to sign the bill to get rid of TikTok. So this is a thing that's been going on for years, almost since TikTok has became popular. And like I said, it's about who's getting it, not the fact that it's being got. Because Twitter had was just in court earlier this year about blocking certain politicians from being seen on Twitter, and manipulating what people manipulating the vote. After Elon Musk bought Twitter, he had to fire a bunch of people because of that. That's how it all
That's
got
right.
exposed.
Right.
And they were asked in court, were you, it was certain politicians asking these people, the heads of
I saw
Twitter,
that.
was was you were you the people who were blocking my page from being seen from millions of other people, and they couldn't say anything. They just act
Shadow
like they
banning.
weren't the people. Pretty much they were acting like, well, I didn't do it, I didn't do it. So I mean, apps have been doing this since we've had apps. That's one of the, I mean, when you sign up for a contract with a phone, we don't go and read those 500-page contracts. Somewhere in that contract it's telling you that your information is going to be used for marketing. Anybody ever got an email address, brand new email, and wonder how all these different people are emailing you? All you did was apply for one job, now it's sold. Or you getting phone calls from all these different spam numbers and you just got the phone. I mean, so information being stolen from us has been something that's always gone on and always will go on. I think the U.S. just doesn't like the fact that China is the one that's getting it now.
The thing
So,
That's
happened
right.
with Facebook. They thought with Facebook also. That's why they got to that
mm-hmm.
exclusively. They're trying to
Yeah,
change their
every one of
image.
them.
That's fine. Yeah, yeah. I mean,
Look
let
at
me
it.
let me
Look
tell
at
you something. Facebook getting jammed up like that was detrimental to my bottom line. Okay, Facebook marketing was so effective that like they, well, it was 2021 going into 2022. They took away the ability, like I could target my competitors' customers, right? Just like literally just put in yeah, what is it called? Targeting. Yeah, targeting. I could target my competitors' customers and show them my ad. So I just beat their price and just put in all the people that sold the same thing. They took away that ability, all that stuff. And now I got to spend more dollars to get
Mm-hmm.
one landing page view. Get on my damn
Yeah.
nerve. But
I'm
Ikene,
gonna say
welcome.
one more thing and
Yeah,
then
go
I'm gonna
ahead.
pass it up. Even with like music, Apple Music and Spotify. If y'all go on Apple Music or Spotify right now and listen to the top 100 or the top 10 charts, it's songs that's been out for almost 10 months, a year. The same songs for those top A-list celebrities, and we know it's songs that are higher than that. We know it's artists that are deserve more credit than that. But the fact that they have a lock on the music industry and they're pumping that money into it, you see songs that's been out for years, still number one, two, and three.
All right. Not only let me tell you something. Why are they still playing Little Baby's song from 3 years ago on the damn radio? When I say
Migos, no,
why are they still playing? I don't even understand. I thought the radio station was broke and nobody worked there anymore. But it's still being requested because I realized at some point somebody had said, "Do you not know that you can infiltrate the algorithm in a way to get them to generate it, and their system only goes by what's requested?" I'm like, who's still requesting the same Little Baby song from 3 years ago? Like there ain't better songs out now. Like he don't have other songs out. It's crazy. So that's facts. Ikene, get in here. What you got?
Yeah, in that little baby stuff, right? Just look at it this way. It's like when you go on YouTube, you see when people start talking about Tracy Ellis, right?
Right.
Now you getting a company like called Footwear talking about Tracy Ellis because that's what the algorithm is finding out people are discussing. And sometimes celebrities will make calls to get paparazzi or ad company to push their product. But let me go back to the Chinese stuff. I gotta tell you one thing. TikTok is not going nowhere.
That's right.
If TikTok gets taken down, a whole lot of US companies going under. Facebook is going under in China. All this stuff that you're saying that is saying is just to get their base wrapped up and get people voting, get election happening, get people interested, and they're not going to do shit. Because the reason why they know is this is called international trade. You can say whatever you want to say about international trade. You can get it to be fair, but you cannot eliminate it. United States spies on Chinese and Chinese spies on US. So if US go after Chinese Chinese government will go after US spies. Facebook is a US spy, period. TikTok is a Chinese spy. Period. So they're all spying on each other and they know what each other is doing. So when US built Facebook, China needed something to counter Facebook and they built TikTok in order to balance it. Because they know that each company or each government is gathering citizens' information from both sides. And they both use it for advertisement and production purpose. Because United States understand through Facebook what people need, and then Apple and all these companies, including Tesla, they all make their production to match the demand by those customers and to match their lifestyles. If you look at the new concept cars that are coming out, they are all coming out with more gadget in them. They don't give a damn if you're going to kill yourself on the highway by using those stuff, but they're going to put it either way. Because it's marketing, it's production, it's demand. Why do we have more accidents on the highway today? Because people are using something they're not supposed to use in the cars. That's why we're having more accidents. But profitability exceeds loss of life. So if you buy a vehicle, tomorrow you're going to start buying vehicles that will have both Facebook and TikTok on the dashboard. And you're going to be mad. Whoa, I thought TikTok was going away. If TikTok goes away in US, Facebook goes away in China. And China is their biggest market.
Those facts. That's facts. All right, let's get your thoughts on this one. That was facts. I want to know y'all thoughts on participation trophy. So y'all heard what I said about it. If I could, I'd abolish it altogether. When we were young, and I want y'all to start from this baseline. When we were young, not only I played soccer just like my son is playing soccer now. I play basketball, I play football. When you lose, you cry. You and your homeboys like you pissed. They make you get in line. You shake hands with the other team and you watch them celebrate. That does something to you. That lets you know, that teaches you a lot about life, a lot about hard work, and you can start making realistic discernments about how these people got there. They work harder than us. They were bigger than us. They practiced. Their quarterback was better than ours. You can make an accurate discernment as to why someone was better than you. Now, everybody gets to participate. Everybody gets a party. Everybody gets pizza. Everybody gets all this. What are y'all thoughts on that, Mr. Rich?
It's so funny about the participation trophies. I remember when I was young, back in the dinosaur days, there was I lived in the Bronx. We had a place called, Kips Bay Boys Club. And we had a basketball team. I was in shape good enough to make the team. And we were paying some white boys from Connecticut. These guys were the European players, all, smart and all that shit.
Mm-hmm.
Almost a member from almost every gang in the Bronx came into our locker room and said, listen, if you guys lose this game, I don't know how y'all going to get home. You know what I'm saying? So there was the way that applies is we knew is win or lose. There was no consolation for coming in second place.
Yep.
You know what I'm saying? I thought that was the strangest threat I ever had in my life. Those guys came in, and he's some tough guy. I knew some of them anyway, but they said, you guys better not lose. So that tells me they had money on the game and all that kind of stuff. They said, you better not lose. So we never had this whole concept when we were young about you either won or you lost. Nobody gave a shit about second place. None of that kind of stuff. If it came in last place, they weren't giving out no trophy. You just lost. You just had to get better. The other part is just the regular parks in the Bronx. When you played, you tried to stack your team so you could play all day.
Yep.
That was it. You wanted to play all day, you had to have a team. You had to win every single game, or else you're off the court.
Yep.
And so, this whole notion of participation trophies was just so damaging to the psyche of young people, black, white, and indifferent. It was horrible.
Naturally, and you see how people grew up. Like, people think this is not a big deal. So look at what Twizzy said here. Losing lights a fire. Look at Jordan. All of the greatest people were huge losers at some point in their life.
Let me ask you one more question. Yeah. How are they going to enforce some kind of rule about that? How are they going to enforce that?
I don't. You can't. So well, I'm sorry. You can. They said anything run by a state government or local government. A lot of those leagues that are run by the
What's the punishment?
municipality, by the local government leagues, they'll take them out. And some of the
What's the
best
punishment?
ones, like in not punishment, you don't allow it in your league. So basically, all the people that want sissies for sons go to the participation trophy league. If you want your son to be good and be competitive, and you already know if dads are leading things and you have an ability to keep your son out of a participation trophy league where the kids are good, all the good kids are going to gravitate to that league. The state-run league is usually always the best league, or maybe a few private ones. So wherever the best kids are, that's where everybody's going to have to start doing. It can't be enforced, but what'll be happening is the most popular leagues or the most competitive leagues will end up being those leagues. I think that's what's going to happen.
Okay, I hear you.
Cali Bell, let me
Put it this way. Put it this way. Whenever you get two people into anything, emotion comes with it. And that is when you get mothers or you get parents into anything, emotions come with it.
Right.
Growing up as a little kid, we used to go to soccer game back home, playing it on the street on our way to the soccer game. We already started the soccer game on the way to the soccer game. And then when we get to the soccer game, we play in soccer game for like 5-6 hours. No parents. In fact, when you get to the soccer game, this is how we start. Number one, you play on your way to the soccer game. When you get there, you start fighting because they didn't choose you. So you're mad that you didn't get chosen. So now you spend about 20 to 30 minutes fighting. And then after the whole thing is over, these are kids fighting. Then you get chosen properly. Now you start playing the game and then you get removed because it's your time to leave and you don't want to leave. Then we spend another 20 minutes fighting for not being removed. But at the end of the day, when the game is over, everybody laugh and go home. But the problem is, what I noticed when I came here, I saw parents going to sports with kids. And I was like, this is bad. My dad used to come to the sports to whoop my ass to take me home. Not take me to the game, but to take me home from the game. So to me, basically, I would say this. If you want sports to be what it used to be, parents have to drop their keys and parents have to go home. That's it. No parental involvement. Drop your kids and go home.
Drop your kids and go home. I mean, in Little League, that probably not going to fly. There's going to be people running into the street, but I see what you're saying. Absolutely. Callie Bev, what's up? You got something on this? So we got a resident mom here, so she probably is going to disagree with us. What are your thoughts on participation trophies?
Did y'all miss me?
Yes.
Oh, yeah, indeed.
Yes.
I'm teasing. But look, no, I don't see how people or kids are stupid enough. They're not that dumb where they don't realize they lost. Okay. They know they lost. Just saying, hey, you participated, you get a participation ribbon. I don't see that as being a problem because look, don't do that. Whatchamacallit, because that ribbon still don't say you won. It don't say first place. It don't say you won. You still lost. It say, hey, thanks for coming out. That's basically what that is. And first place trophies still have first place on them. So I'm not seeing what the problem is.
It's not that you're wrong. It's not that you're actually wrong. It's not that you're wrong. It's what it inspires. So here's the thing. This is what, just like Ikene said, moms ruin everything in this particular thing because your need to make to smooth out that feeling of loss where that kid is crying. What you're trying to do is stop that from happening. Dads look at that shit like it's useful.
Builds character.
It's built. Like literally, I will put a block, like my whole stiff arm out. Don't go touch him. When the boy is frustrated and he's sitting there and he doesn't want to lose, that builds character. That's a moment he needs to have. This is how Jordan became Jordan. He didn't get picked for JV basketball.
That's not just for boys either.
Yeah. You know what? You know what? You're right. I'm just saying that it's affected boys the most, if we can be honest.
No, but we both need that.
No, we do. You're right. You're right. It has affected boys even well into adulthood. They still behave like this. They should get a participation trophy for everything. I understand that that's not what is meant by the participation trophy, Cali Bev, but in millions, it has an effect on society as a whole.
Before you go
You
on,
need to watch someone else win, and you have a complete loss, like meaning that you're completely disregarded. Nobody's looking at you. Nobody's seeing if you got home. Literally, you have to have a hunger to win, to get that to enjoy the celebration that way. It builds character. What are your thoughts?
Yeah, you still ain't celebrating getting a participation ribbon. You're not celebrating that. You know
Yeah.
you lost. You still crying because you still lost. You
No,
still know
no.
you
no,
lost.
I've seen that. I've seen them.
No, they don't
No.
cry.
I've seen
They don't
kids
cry.
literally go from crying to smiling because they got a trophy as
River
well.
because
And then
Mike,
look and remember and
for being
remember.
for being a failure.
Mike, let me push back on you
For
one.
being a
Let
failure.
me push
Getting
back on
picked
one
up.
thing you said.
Yeah, no,
Let
no.
me push back on one thing you said. Here's the reason why I think it's just as important for young girls to understand what it means to lose.
No, I agree.
Was
I
it
agree.
well? When you said it was more important for boys, I disagree
Okay, go
because
ahead.
that's why women can't understand responsibility and accountability now. Because those participation trophies stop them from learning that shit early, how to lose. One of the biggest things women can't do as adults is take an L. The freaking people can't take an L. They don't know how to take an L worth shit.
That
You
is
know,
fact.
I mean, it could be right in there. So that's where it starts. You know, take a goddamn L.
You
And you
still
know what?
lost.
And move on. And
You
so
still
I'm
lost.
telling you, boys need it and girls need it.
Hey,
I
That's
don't
listen.
life.
know. Y'all
I
must think
stand
kids are
corrected.
dumb because them
That
kids
might be
know
the
they
best
lost.
rebuttal I've heard on the Trigger Mike show. That is one because I like the way you tied that into that. That is facts. Girl, like I don't think I've heard it better said than that. Girls today or women today rather do not know how to take an L. It is not even the I lost. It's a I could have won, but the odds weren't fair. So it's literally you don't want to take an L for anything in the face of actual loss. You don't want to take an L. That's how
They
bad it
cheat on
is.
their husbands, right? But it's his fault. They
But it's
can't
his
take it
fault.
out. I want to get my cheeks busted by this other guy, but you know what? You didn't look at me right last night, so I'm getting my cheek busted by somebody giving me the dreamy eye. Get out of
Absolutely.
here.
And you
Yeah,
know what? I
okay.
didn't make the
Yeah.
correlation.
Men and women both make excuses for the dumb shit that they do. Okay.
But
Now
you know
moving
what? But
on
you know what?
back to this other shit.
Go ahead.
Y'all must think kids are stupid. Y'all really
Yeah, it
must think
got to
kids
do
are
with the
dumb.
Well, they're
intelligence
not fully
level.
developed. I don't say
It's
stupid,
nothing
but
to
they're
do with
not
the
fully
intelligence
developed.
Participation
level.
trophy will
You
make
know
you
what,
stupid.
Callie Bev, you made an important point right there. It's not that we think kids are stupid. I would argue that having them lose in a consistent manner is better for them to begin winning later in life. They will
Right.
actually remain stupid without experiencing loss. What do you think?
Okay. How did they not experience loss if they literally lost and they know they lost?
No,
How did
no,
they
no,
not
no, no.
experience loss?
Okay.
You learn that you
Let me
don't
put it
get
to you like
anything
this.
for losing.
Well,
You
let
And
me
they
don't
put it
still
to you
get
didn't
like
get
this.
no
anything
and
for
they
losing.
and they still didn't get no you won trophy.
No,
They didn't get that.
not how it's
No,
counts.
no. This
And
is
you
this
still
is
don't
what.
get what the
Hold on,
first
hold on,
place
hold on.
people
I'm
get.
sorry.
You still
No,
don't get
actually,
it.
Callie Bev, you're wrong. You're wrong. The participation trophy actually means there is no trophy for the winner. When we say participation trophy, they get the same trophy. That's what they've been
They don't
doing
get the
for
same
years.
trophy. They
No,
don't get the
in
same
most of
trophy.
these
Yes, they
leagues, they
do.
give them the same exact trophy. The winner gets nothing different unless they're going to get celebrated by their parents. In most of these leagues, they give the exact. I understand that you're saying maybe in some leagues. In most of these leagues, the same trophy is given to everyone.
Taliban.
Yeah, I don't know.
The only
Let me
difference is
tell you
that
how
flag on
brutal.
the bottom, that small
Let me
print.
tell you how brutal men are. Let me tell you how brutal men are. The World Cup. You see the World Cup?
Yep.
When you finish the first round and you get into the second round, if you get eliminated, you get the hell out of the country. That's how, that's how brutal the World Cup is. You gone the next day or that night. You're not staying to get a handshake from the FIFA president. No, no, no. You going home. You buy. I got to tell you, there is no reward for failure. There shouldn't be a ribbon. You shouldn't even get a candy for failing. That's why today people get candy for failing. In fact, if you fail, you should walk home. tomorrow, not driving in an air condition. Nah. So tomorrow when you come back, you pissed off and ready to win. That's
Yep.
how we got motivated when we were little kids.
Yep.
That's why our mothers didn't show up. But now parents show up. Even to the level of even killing somebody in Dallas over a child losing. The other parent killed a coach. You see what I'm saying? We can have parents being involved in sports. I got to tell you, I've been around parents being involved in sports, and I'm like, guys, man, just go. Let's go home, man. This is not good. It's not good. And you see parents even acting worse at their own kids. It's a
I agree with
shame.
you on that. I agree with you
Parents
on that.
worse,
Parents need to
parents
sit their ass
misbehaving
down and
than
not even be.
kids.
I don't even believe in all of that. You know what I'm saying? When my
And
kids
kids
go to their little
and you
karate
see kids
tournaments and stuff like that,
crying because
I
their
don't go.
parents are fighting. You see kids crying because their parents are fighting. In fact, every
Hmm.
parent that goes to a sports game with their children to, I don't want to say something. Let's just stop that, man. I don't like it. I never liked it. The first time I saw it in this country, I didn't like it. Because if my mom was to be around where I was playing sports, my mom would have killed somebody because sometimes, man, they will hit you from the back and then you will roll like 3 times in the air.
Pause.
I'm telling you, man. Just imagine what my mom would do if she see that happen to me.
Yeah. I
And
mean, look,
sometimes, no,
go
you
ahead.
don't want to do that. It's not good. No candy for a failure. Period.
Cali Bev, push back. No candy for failure. You giving candy or what?
Is that supposed to be a serious question?
Yeah.
Why you got the serious face on today, Cali Bell? I mean,
Okay. Let me ask you this, Cali Bev, because and it's not even that you're a woman, you're a mom. So I think I think it's really moms, right? Because the craziest part about it is back in the day, moms used to be just as intense. So we can't even really say y'all changed the ideology and it's more of a female led ideology. Participation trophies are female led, but moms used to adopt the family like sport competition narrative when fathers were like, when the patriarchy, let's just say under the patriarchal system, moms used to be just as competitive, yelling like, you hit the ball, home run or nothing, like, that type of stuff. So moms have been just that way. So what do you think is responsible for this type of shift where moms want everybody to feel a certain way, win or lose? Go ahead.
I don't agree with the premise.
All right, what is your premise?
My premise is ain't nothing changed. You just get a like, okay, I'm not even gonna sit here in front like, okay, if like say, I used to compete in dance, right? Right.
Mm-hmm.
So when we did not win back in the 90s, in the 1900s, back in the 90s, what you call it, when we did not win, we got a, like a little participation trophy thingy, right? We still know we didn't win. It's that shit still didn't say first place. So I'm not understanding what's supposed to be different now.
If you're
you know,
not
And this
first,
is
you're
not, and
last.
it's not, and this is not like a woman thing or anything like
Okay.
that. This is not
Let
like a
me let
mom
me just
thing.
say let me just say this. Do you think it's wrong if you would have gotten nothing? Would that have been wrong?
No.
Okay. So we're advocating that the winner gets the trophy, they get celebrated, and the other people go home without a word. That's what we're saying. That's what we're advocating for. What do you think about that? EBD, let me get a thumbs up. All right.
I mean, if that's what y'all want to do, then that's fine. I mean, it's not even that deep because
It
the
is
kids
that
still
deep.
know they
I
lost.
don't want a bunch of losers smiling on the field and getting their backs patted. I want to see them stomping in the grass, throwing helmets on the floor, saying, "I'm practicing all weekend." Like I said, 1 hour into my son realizing he played an excellent game and they lost because they didn't score any goals. He asked, "Can we practice passing? We practice running and keeping ball control." He said, "Can we practice scoring goals?" Because he wants to win the damn game. That is the natural progression in which these things are supposed to happen. If I'd have been like, "Good job, champ. Good job, champ," he wouldn't have said that. Guaranteed, he wouldn't have said that.
Buy you a steak, son. You know.
No, I
Yeah.
mean, look, well, maybe that's how your son is built or whatever, you know what I'm saying? But my sons and my nephews, you pat them on the back or whatever like that, like it's okay, you try again next time or whatever like that. You
Now
still
you're
lost.
telling the
And they
truth. Now
still
you're telling the truth.
and they
Now you're telling the
what are
truth.
you talking what? And they
You
still
just
I
told the
mean
truth. Yeah.
they still want to go back and do better next time. They still know they effing lost. I'm not understanding why y'all think these kids don't know that they lost and they got some
All
kind
right.
of
All right.
Yeah,
rewiring
he
in their
said
So,
that.
brain
all
That's
where
right.
they
how
smile because they got
Okay.
a
Okay.
ribbon,
Cali
knowing that
Bev.
the first place person over there got that big ass trophy
All right.
walking down,
All right.
walking away.
Let me find another way to say this then. Who is your favorite athlete of all time? Cali Bev.
Shit,
Male or
Flojo.
female? Who? Flojo. Oh, okay, great. Because Flojo was a beast. Do you think that you could create another Flojo in the participation trophy era?
Yeah, why not?
Okay. Let's get to my man EBD. What you got on it?
I didn't get the chance to hear everybody's response earlier, so I'll just say mine kind of quick. But I played sports when I was younger, but yeah, I think what you're missing out is character. These sports build character, full of winners and losers, right? Those who you got, and also if you're getting a participation trophy, how do you know whether you need to improve on something or not? If the outcome's going to be the same. If the outcome's always going to be the same, then there's no incentive. There's no incentive to try harder. There's no incentive. There's only in a participation trophy, the only incentive is to participate and not excel. And sports is about excel. Who is the best? Who is the number one baseball player? I mean, we grew up in an era where the way two boys grew up bonding is by asking each other questions about sports statistics. Who's the best on this team and why? And what year and their era, like baseball, football, basketball, you name the sport, we would have to train our brains into hold statistical information in order just to outsmart the next guy. So in the participation trophy era, I mean, where does that leave you? What kind of cards are you gonna value? What card would have value if this kind of mentality was like way back in the 80s and 90s when we were coming up? So yeah, you're really robbing future generations of excellence when it comes to athletes when everyone gets the same trophy and no one's really defined as a winner or loser. I mean, that's kind of my quick point.
All right. Who else
Why y'all
hasn't
keep
gotten in
lying
on this?
like everybody get the same trophy?
Nobody's saying that.
No, I'm
Nobody's
telling
saying
you.
that. Man, go power
Go
up.
ahead,
Let
power
power
up
up.
then CBN. We get power up then CBN.
Yeah, participation trophies don't build character. They need to be gone, for my opinion. They don't build character, they build entitlement.
Yep.
So what that means is pretty much I know you said where you're from, they just give little ribbons. Well, where I'm from, the participation trophies are the exact same size as the winning trophies. In fact, the only difference between them is the little gold plaque in metal that's written first place, second place, and the other one might just say the name of whatever you're doing. So, let's say you go to a loser's house who's lost everything they ever participated in but got participation trophies, and you go to a winner's house. From a distance, if I'm looking at all those trophies at a cabinet,
Mhm.
I would have thought you was a winner. Until I walk up close and realize it doesn't really say anything, they just look generic. I don't think we should do that because it builds entitlement into people. Like I grew up in the era, and I'm young, so I'm not I haven't grown
Hey,
up in
put
Yeah,
your
bring
mouth
your mic
closer to the
down.
mic.
Bring your mic down a little
Oh,
bit.
my bad, my bad. And I'm a little bit younger, so I kind of toward the end of my high school years is when they started inputting that participation trophy in my area. But I would say that it just builds entitlement because when we were growing up, let's say we were in class doing the box tops where you get the box tops off of the back of the cereal boxes and stuff. If our class didn't do the most box tops, we wasn't having a pizza party. Participation trophies are the equivalent of after your child lose a game 0 to 30, y'all go and take them to get pizza. It is it builds too much entitlement for me. That's just because I'm a man and I'm dating, should I be entitled to have sex with a woman? Y'all wouldn't agree with that. Or just because I'm a U.S. citizen, am I entitled to drive a car and get a license? I think it's certain things you have to do in order to get to certain places, and participation trophies just don't allow that. I mean, a child needs to lose in order. A participation trophy for a losing child should be going to practice. That should be the participation trophy. You should be going to run laps. That's what we did. We had to run laps, exercise, do
Yep.
push-ups, and I just think that entitling kids to do that will and further down in life when they're out of school and not playing sports anymore, they're gonna feel entitled to everything else. And that's how you make incels that go shoot up schools and all type of crazy stuff because somebody feel like they deserve something that they didn't put the work in to get. And that's all I gotta say on it.
Well, let me ask you something, Power Up. If you don't mind, how old are you?
I'm 25.
Is that right? Are
Yeah.
you like are you a trucker or something, or a gamer, or both?
Oh no, I'm a truck driver.
Okay. All right.
I don't even got time to game as much as I want to
Okay.
or used to.
I'm just curious, man, because you kind of mature way past your years. At 25, I'm still getting in trouble.
Yeah, yeah. See, I grew up and I have a very interesting input on a lot of y'all topics, which is why I watch y'all videos because I grew up in between Gen Z and millennial. I want
Right.
to call myself more millennial than Gen Z, but I grew up in between in 1997. So if you search it up, a lot of times they say 96 is where millennials in, or a lot of times they might say 97 or so. I'm kind of in between, so I get to see the difference in between and also the similarities. Growing up in school, I know a lot of people that are have way more Gen Z traits, and then people my age just have way more millennial traits. So I kind of see the divide and where stuff isn't equal and all that. And that's what makes me come to these videos because I'm more of a millennial, and a lot of people my age, I just don't agree with a lot of stuff going on.
I hear you. I got you.
So my question is this, okay? Now I don't. I'm asking like a legit question. Do these participation people get celebrated after the game?
Some people still go and eat pizza for the team. I done seen times where a losing team and a winning team that just played each other both in CCs together eating.
Yep.
I don't think
Oh,
that's cool.
wait. The one I saw was league party. The whole league has a day out at the what is it, Monkey Joe's league party, end of season party. Ain't no damn party. I remember they did that for us on a personal level. I'm not even saying that you can't do anything to celebrate the team or whatever. But when we talk about the actual win, you see what I'm saying? Even there needs to be dispersion of time. Let those feelings that I'm talking about, stomping on the grass, let all of that stuff happen. I want to see it.
Mhm.
I
So
want to
that
see
does
it.
so I'm just asking because okay, when I see this in my head at these different tournaments and dance competitions or whatever, right? Well, my boys were in karate, so that's my frame of reference. Okay,
Mhm.
so when they lose or when they don't win, or when we didn't win or whatever like that, the first place team is out there jumping up and down, yay! Get the microphone, they get the little announcement. First place goes to blah 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 blah. You know what I mean? And everybody's celebrating and on the field and everything like that. And everybody who did not win it's just sitting there soaking in their feelings because they sat there and lost. So I'm not understanding
Yo,
where
can I help you with
where they're
that?
being celebrated at.
Let me add this again. Again, it's I can agree with you that it's subtle. You know you lost, but the truth of the matter is to really bring that home, you shouldn't get anything. Now, there's two things that goes on for men and women. That's different. But for men, if you get participation trophies, you really you can't really get it deters from you, right? For women, it's more like an entitlement when they get older.
Right.
But for guys,
Okay, well, I'm
it's
about
the
to go. If
hold
y'all
on.
want to use this gender war shit to go
No,
ahead and
it's not.
explain
No,
this
no,
away, then
Sometimes
I'm
it's
about to be
just
out.
true.
Later, y'all.
Sometimes it's just
No,
true.
wait, see, she's gone. So my
Nah.
point was that it impacts
Wait, hold up,
boys
hold up.
and girls.
You just talked about a sense of entitlement to not where not being able to you can't even hear criticism. This is part of the participation
I
Well,
think
trophy.
I think I think
she
I
took
think
it
what we talked
personally
about,
because I'm saying for boys, it messes up their character. For
So we
women,
were
that's where
just
it comes
talking
you
from.
about listen. After you
know,
lost, y'all remember because not even it was my basketball coach. This dude was not nice about it because it's not even the fact that you lost; it's all of the factors that happened in the loss. He's like, y'all want to embarrass me like that? Like we didn't spend X amount of hours. We not touching the damn ball. Suicide. And you like, what? We gonna start practice
Yo.
tomorrow?
okay, Cali Bear,
You
tell
see
her
what
to
Hmm.
I'm
come
saying?
back. Tell her to come
That
back.
took away your sense of
No,
entitlement. That means if you were gonna ball hog, if you weren't gonna run plays like you were taught, it's not just gonna be lax, it's gonna be work. You're gonna get
For the rest of
embarrassed.
the
If y'all
week
gonna
Right.
until
do
the
that to
next
me like
win.
that, if y'all gonna embarrass me like that on the court, I'm gonna embarrass you in practice. So your sense of entitlement, your sense of taking criticism, all of this shows up in life on the job.
Mm.
If I know I did a bad job, I'm gonna sit there and take the tongue lashing, or I'm gonna fix myself so I never have to hear the criticism in the first place. All of this manifests itself in life, and we just saw what the participation trophy gets you in life. I don't have to listen to this. Bye.
You think this
no.
Y'all
started
heard
with
of social
do you think it
Hey,
started? Do
guys,
you think it
I
started
waited.
with
I
women's sport?
waited. It was my turn. Hold on.
Go ahead. Go ahead.
Go ahead, Fabian.
This is something that I severely hate about this participation trophy. It created an entitled generation that lack accountability, that lack responsibility. I could care less any female get offended. Look what happened last year with a bunch of people who decided to quit. They feel like they're entitled to get a raise, but never put in the work that require you to get a raise. Let that sink in clear. Then what happened when you have a particular trophy and you create weak ass people? Yes, I said it. If you so entitled, you goddamn weak. Which means you don't got a backbone. You lost it a long time ago. I don't play public attention trophy in my house. I let my son know, you want to get better, you got to put in the work. When you do that nonsense, all you're doing, you are sabotaging your kids. Period. I could care less it hurt your feelings. The truth is the truth. Either you like it or you don't. And you say you are a Christian, hey, look at the Bible. They don't partake in public attention trophy either way. Some people win, some people lose. You learn from your losing. Flo Joe, before she was that good, she lost a couple of tournaments, a couple of eight,
Hmm.
but she learned from it to get even
she
better.
would never accept an entitlement trophy. Never.
But that being said, for any female or any weak-ass dude that support a tournament trophy, meet me in the MMA octagon. I'll show you how weak you really are and make you tap out for a whole hour.
It just
Well,
to me it
look.
builds so on top of the entitlement, I think the participation trophy, the whole point of it is the dead in the blow. And I think that's the part that's disadvantaging us because you need for that wound to sting. So trying to make it softer and it does make kids go home and feel better about the situation, which in turn makes them not want to play as hard because they know they're gonna get something out of it. And I don't know where Kelly Bell was from, but where I'm from, these participation trophies no different than the real ones. Than the first place. It's just different writing on it. And so, I mean, with FloJo, like you said, they have medals instead of trophies. There's a participation medals, same size, same weight. I mean, if y'all gonna do this participation thing and wonder why people are so weak entitled now, or wonder why people just get so upset when they can't have their way and they think everything's supposed to be handed to them. Like it don't work that way. I never heard of the saying bosses participate. It was always bosses take losses. So you need to know that you lose, and when you do lose, it actually needs to be a little punishment. You need to
You gotta
want to
feel the
work
pain.
hard.
Yeah.
Yeah, you need to work a little bit harder. Like we had coaches that would tell us, we working 10 times harder until we get the next win. So if you lost in for the rest of the week until the next game, your practices were hard. It
Yeah.
wasn't no going out to eat. It wasn't no taking pictures, dancing, and celebrating. The most you would get was a pat on the back from your mom, and she tell you will get it next time, and that's all you hearing.
Yeah, you know what I'm just noticing now? Now that we're all talking about it, when we talk about participation, it means what are you getting? You're getting a affirmation that you just showed up in attendance, like roll call, right? It's not
Hmm.
that you perform because it has nothing to do with your performance as an athlete, or it has nothing to do with the game, how it was played, what the score was, who did what, who excelled and who failed, right? So it takes away the competition. So for me, I think like what I'm thinking about it, I'm thinking about a participation trophy and the culture of it. And the more I think about it, the more it sounds more of a feminine thing that came from women rather than men, because men for all throughout history have and knows exactly what a winner and a loser is. There's never been a thank you for coming and here's his thing, maybe a door prize or something during bingo in the modern era, but not in serious sport competition. We play serious games for a serious championship. We celebrate hard. We always have. We teach it to ourselves and our sons to excel and perform and to consistently be better. While women, what they want is the same type of respect and affirmation for showing up, not for performance, not for excelling, for showing up and being there. So that's what it
Exactly.
kind of sounds like this came from. This didn't come from a bunch of men who gathered around the table saying,
Well,
because all these other losers came
yep.
here, we're gonna give them a little something anyway. That sounds more
Yeah.
like a
So,
woman
so
thing.
to Callie Bev's
What
point, right? It's not even that I agreed. I mean, I disagreed with her fully. It's just that this is when I think somebody said it. There's a difference between the way something was intended and the way that it gets carried out. The way it was intended was to say we had a good season. In fact, in order for me, maybe there's a token, just something, a token of something to say thank you for choosing this organization for competition. We get that. That's the measure. Now look at how far moms, and you're right, it is a woman thing. Moms are going to take that because anything dealing with comfort and soothing, they're going to take that to the extreme level, to the 10th power of what it could. Because if you ask a bunch of dads, should we give this, and this to the people for losing? You're going to kind of look and say, what is this going to do to this kid's character? Even if you say yes, you're going to look at the end result or the person that you created. Hey, let's go out and practice. No. Do you know where you went wrong in the last play? No, I think I did good enough. No, I don't want to practice right now. I want to sit down. You're slowly making them lazy. You're killing them slowly, taking away their hunger, taking away their ability to even see where they made mistakes. Right. And eventually the dad's gonna be like, no more of that shit. I know where this stemmed from. That was my bad. We're not doing it no more. But now you have an endless cycle of moms coming through saying, what more can we do for the children, even though they lost? Not even less. But go ahead.
now? Let me tell you this real short. The thing I hate about it part of the trophy, I don't know which one came first. Either that nonsense or the body positivity. And it looked like they came out from the same byproduct. But yeah, people
Body
make
positivity
excuses.
is new. It was But participation trophies definitely came first.
So if that's the case, that nonsense is what created the body positive nonsense that we have today. To be honest, because then I'm looking at things at a logical point of view. If you don't learn from your losses, if you don't learn from your error, if you don't learn from your mistake, how can you build people with strong character, with a sense of accountability, with a sense of responsibility, is a sense of integrity? Or you build what entitled at mamby pandy, good for nothing, weak, no spine individuals who feel like they don't have to work for anything to get it easy. This is why it's easy for a guy like us to push over people like them and take over their job and their position and wonder why they can't get it.
Yep. And it's weird because we're gonna get the
weak peoples keep doing it. I'll keep knocking them over.
It's weird because this is another bit of proof that women create the men that they complain about. They create these dudes. These women who are sitting here saying, well, nothing's really wrong with it, are the same women that are single. Some of them are single, talking about, why don't dudes step up to the plate? Why aren't you more masculine? Why are you so feminine? Y'all created these Negroes with these tactics. It's crazy to me. But
if that's the case, let them mad what they created and keep them out shut.
Yep. Yeah, I think if they do want to, I know people can't agree on stuff at certain times. So the common middle ground, because to me, a participation trophy is you got a jersey, everybody know you're on the team, or you took a picture with the team in the beginning. That would be a good enough participation trophy for men. But like you said, for the league or something like that, then at the beginning, before any games even came, everybody get their league trophy. It says, I participated in such and such league, but it shouldn't be every game. And I think women look at the short-term way, as in, okay, my child gets one for this game, and they feel a little bit better, and they're not crying the whole ride home, which, I mean, it is what it is for that.
Exactly.
But when you look at it when you look at it in a logical way, in a full way, when that child goes home after the season, 2 season, 3 season, and there's 32 trophies on this wall, how do you think that makes him feel or her feel? They feel like they did something. They feel like even if they lost every single game, they still have a trophy wall. Every single game, you lose all 20 games in the season, and you got 20 trophies in your room, the same amount of trophies as the winner.
So I like that visual that you're painting right now. I like that visual because when you think about it, the trophy wall in every movie, even in the school, it's like, some of them, but they want to put out the wins. They want to put out the gold medals. People even hide. I'm sorry. I didn't give a damn. I think I broke every second place trophy I've ever got. The only one that I even cared about was the first place that I wanted to put in my room. Every other one was under some clothes somewhere in the cloud. I don't give a damn about this. You see what I'm saying?
Sugar Mike, let me ask you a question. You in the military, right?
I was.
You were. You heard of the JROTC, right?
Yeah.
There are multiple campuses. Which campus had a particular trophy in their cabinet? I'd like to know.
You said which campus had a particular trophy?
Participation trophy in their cabinet. I would like to know which one.
Not one.
That's why I gotta ask.
Military.
That's why I didn't ask.
I'm in Ruckus. Let's get you in here. What you got on?
What's going on, guys? Can you guys hear me well?
Yeah.
Yes.
All right, for sure. Yeah, I mean, I want to piggyback off what you said, Sugar Mike, with Cali Bev comment. I don't think she's wrong fully, right? I think there's an element of truth, but it's not whether it's right or wrong. It's just what's best. What is the best for the child?
I like
what is the best to build character? And obviously character isn't built with just the easy path. Character is built through the losses, through the hardships, through the experience. That's where character is actually built. So when we give these children, these participation trophies or participation ribbon, I mean, we're just kind of like putting a Band-Aid over the thing and not actually teaching them, how to lose well, how to have sportsmanship, how to actually problem solve and say, okay, you know what? I lost, I received nothing, and the only thing I received out of this loss is the experience. So now, how do I get better in order to come back next season and dominate the game? I think majority of the greats, well, all of the greats, they won, they got to where they were at because they lost, because they didn't receive no participation trophy. Is either you win that game or you go home and then you're gonna have to wait another 4 months in order for you to get back on the court and actually do the damn work. You know, I like what Tim Grover said in his book Winning. He said winning has its own language and it's not bullshit. You know, when it's time to win, it's time to win. You know, my daughter, she's only 11 years old, man, and she was in a writing competition, and they gave, you know, she got third place. You know, she got third place. They gave her the ribbon. You know what she did with that ribbon? She threw it away. She's like, I don't want a ribbon for losing. I want a ribbon for winning. And she went back and she won. The next time they had a writing competition, she won first place.
Yeah.
You know, but that's the thing, is that we need to teach our kids how to problem solve. And through sports is actually one of the biggest ways that children can learn problem solving skills and developing those characters, integrity, discipline, hard work, good ethics, and so forth. Obviously, it goes back to the parent as well, because the parent needs to needs to be in that child's life in order how to navigate those emotions. And it teaches the parent as well how to parent, because these are actually, you know, situations that these circumstances is giving you in order to train your child, to train them to how to navigate their emotions when they experience hardship or losses. So it's not a matter of whether it's right or wrong. It's whether what's best for the child. I mean, I'll land my plane there.
All right. So what you said was so impactful, bro. What you said was so impactful. I gotta harp on this part. So in the participation trophy era, which is actually Gen Z, if we're going to be honest about it, millennials, we were the last where it was just hardcore. You can see that with the athletes today. It was starting, but it's definitely Gen Z that suffers from this problem. Let's ask ourselves, based off of JC's premise, do the kids, male and female of today, the young people, do they know how to lose properly? Do they know how to accept loss? Or do they even have appropriate reactions to anything? Being told no, basically. No, they don't. They will shoot something up because they didn't get their way.
A couple
that to me is very impactful what you said, because these kids are poor sportsmen, they're poor companions in the home, in relationships, they're poor co-workers who think that they can pawn off their work on other people. I've dealt with that as a director. Like, hire anybody from Gen Z.
Trigger Mike.
Hire anybody from Gen Z. You will get that burst of energy in the beginning, and then people will go absent on you and entitled. I had people. I had let me just say this. I had a woman do this shit to me, and she begged me to let her come back on a project only so I could turn in the paperwork so she could take FMLA, because and then she went and got pregnant. Only a person from Gen Z would do some shit like that, bro. Now you tied up. Yeah, now you tied up my manpower, but you just went and took FMLA because you're pregnant or some mental health type thing because of entitlement. That's what we're dealing with today. Y'all go ahead.
Trigger Mike, did you say that they don't want to be a good co-worker?
They don't want to pull their own weight as a co-worker. They are more
they don't even want to walk.
They don't even want to work. You might be. We 50-50 there. You're absolutely right.
Yeah, they don't even want to work. They want to be entrepreneurs.
Work and expect a check from the government.
Yeah, they want to be entrepreneurs. Like selling hairs.
I'm sorry. They want to be entrepreneurs that make a profit immediately off whatever they do.
Yeah, without even putting capital into it. No capital, but make profit. They don't want to put capital, but they want to make a profit.
But they want to make all the money.
So if you look at it this way, the reason why this entitlement is there and not being called a failure is this: the parents, especially the mothers, take the losing personal, because if their kids lose, they think they failed as parents. So the child losing a game is not a problem. It's that they think that that people are going to call them failure for the child losing. No, it's not. Because if you as a father, you're trying to put pressure on your child or your son to participate, to be the best or the best that he can be, what does the mom say? Oh, you're being too hard on him.
Yep.
You're being too hard on him. But then the same mother is going to slap the shit out of her daughter. That I don't understand. You had she's accusing the daddy for being too hard on the son, but then she turns around and whoop the daughter. And I'm like, okay,
For talking,
make that make sense.
not even doing anything. For talking, slick.
For talking.
Yeah.
So if you look at it this way, one thing that I figured out is this: the mothers do take their son's failure personal. So in order to hide the son failing, she want to cover it up by babysitting the son, by making him not to compete, making him not to participate. But when he participated, she won trophy so that way she can hide behind the trophy that, oh, at least he participated. But guess what happened? That daughter that was disciplined yesterday, when she gets the other guy in the other woman's son as a husband or a boyfriend, then she cries and says, shit, he can do nothing. He's not a man. He's not a man because he was shielded by his mother. Yesterday, I was talking on my program. This is what I said. I said that the animal kingdom got it right. The human kingdom has failed. I'm telling you. Because look at what the lions do to their cubs.
Right.
They put those cubs through rigorous tests, knowing fully well that you have to grow up and you have 2 years. If you can make it past these 2 years, then you can live another 10 years. But these 2 years is the most stressful 2 years because you can lose your life. So they put them through this rigorous test so that they can survive in this jungle. But then we humans, we forgot that we also in a jungle. I gotta tell you, you see all these high rises? You see all these highways? You see all these people you come across every day? We are in a jungle. We are not in paradise. The same way lions have to survive in those jungles is the same way we have to survive in this jungle. No matter how much we make it beautiful, no matter how much we electronize it, computerize it, we're still in jungle. We're never going to get out of this jungle. That is why you see all these shoot up. The reason why these kids are shooting up is because of this thing, just like I said on the channel. When you try to alter your DNA or alter the true person that you are, right? Nature fights back.
Yep.
Yeah.
Let me
Nature will always fight back.
Let me tell you something on just to that you cannot beat nature. Let me tell you something that I just figured out. So y'all know I teach firearms courses. I teach people how to shoot, basic and advanced classes. One thing that I teach in my first class is eye dominance, right? You have to use your dominant eye to put the sight on target. And then people who are right-handed but not right eye dominant, it's called cross-eye dominant. And do you know the people who have the highest incidence of cross-eye dominance? Now that I've taught for years, people who's had LASIK corrective surgery. That means that even though your body changed, you altered your vision artificially to be perfect vision, your body won't see it that way and gives you the opposite eye as a dominant eye. It can end up giving you, even though you're right-handed, now you're left eye dominant because you messed with your eyes that way. Nature you'll never beat it. You'll never outsmart it. Right. So now these people are shooting all weird and all this type of stuff. Like, what's wrong with my eyes? I got LASIK. It's because you got LASIK that your body, your body doesn't take to it. It's not what God intended. It's not how you were made. So your body
Mm-hmm.
adjusted to say you did something. Well, I'm gonna alter it. You can't beat nature. I know that's a crazy example, but it's something that I keep coming
No,
across.
it's true. It's true. Definitely, it's true because you cannot alter. God placed. I'm sorry. I'm sorry. It's CBN. You see that God placed that eye in your body for a reason. It might look crooked. It's there for a reason. Go ahead, CBN.
My add on to what Kenneth said is so true, but here where people they notice it. The same kind of women who do such things claim they can put structure and order in their kids. It make me think they're on
Oh,
drugs. I'll say it again. The type of woman that Ekene is talking about are the same idiotic women who claim they can put structure and order in their kids. Which make me think they're on drugs big time. Yes, I said it and I endorsed it.
I think
Oh,
discipline too. You rob a lot of like young men of discipline, and if we're going off of how the culture's changing, it's predominantly women led households that kind of create this subculture of kind of weakening boys and young men, and kind of building them more emotional rather than more logical. When you have go back a few years, go back to the 80s when we grew up, or 90s when we grew up. There were a lot more men present in the household. I think I had my dad around when I was 10, 11, 12. So there are a lot of rules that I learned just from being around him, and they're unspoken rules, right? For instance, there's I didn't know about the black man rule where when we see each other, when we pass each other by in the mall or whatever, you see two black men, and it just just kind of give a gesture, just a head nod, just a little something. I didn't know that was a thing until I saw my dad do it, and everyone did it to my dad because of how old he was and this and that, and how doors are open for him, things like that. Like all of these little nuances about being a man when that you learn being a small child, that's taken from you if you're just living in a household full of women or a matriarchy, right?
yep.
You don't know what you're, and you grow up as I did, kind of being confused because you don't know how to be. A woman can never raise a man. She can only raise a boy in a grown man's body. Like she'll always teach. She'll always see a man, no matter how old he is, as a boy, and won't be able to come out of that. You know what I mean? So it's that's kind of an issue, and I think that's kind of how we got these participation trophies. How we got this, well, I showed up, so that should be good enough, rather than working hard and getting better and then winning the big trophy and being proud of yourself as a man, because that's a great accomplishment. You're robbing people of their actual talents and accomplishments. If everyone's getting the same trophy you got and you're the winner and everybody else lost, then the trophy's meaningless. The whole sport's meaningless. Everything that you do, it doesn't work like that. In real life, there are no participation trophies for just showing up. You need to step it up and excel. And if we're not learning, if they're not being taught from a young age, they're always going to grow up with a sense of entitlement, and that's what's going to create weak everything.
and
Uh-huh.
that's
I'm
why
go-
All
I'm
they
right.
going to say
all
this.
of these
I want to
dudes
say
shoot each other up.
something real quick.
Let's get
I
hold
went
on.
to yeah, yeah.
Well, I got to get final thoughts, so we're gonna get that during your final thoughts. In fact, Ikene, you can go first. Go ahead. Final thoughts.
Yeah, I went to one of the what do they call it? I think it's Antoine's show. It's called something club, Fighters Club, hosted
Fight Club.
by
Fight Club.
huh? Fight Club. Is some guy Aaron. Aaron was the guy also. I went inside there, man. It was disgusting. So I gotta tell you this, right? Sometimes when you come across guys that are raised by mothers, right, you can really notice that quick. Ask myself, this is just my closing point. I ask myself, do people just come on YouTube to talk, just to talk, or maybe to inspire people? Because sometimes what we say on YouTube lasts forever. Children will come one day and programs and watch it in order to be men. But when they have to hear men speak like little kids, argue, fight, do these things, and your objective is to inspire the next generation to be men. That is a shame. You see what I'm saying? So
Mhm.
we have to look at it this way. Okay, you trying to not give a boy a trophy for losing, but at the same time, grown ass men are coming on YouTube saying some inflammatory things, saying some things like, causing Africans and African Americans to bump head together, and causing demarcation between Africans and African Americans, and saying that you guys are this, you guys are that. It's disgusting. So when you have kids 10 years from now, 15 years from now, running into all these channels to watch something because they're being raised by a mother and they want to get a man's view, and if they run into this channel, they're going to be like, okay, you know what? This is nonsense, because that's the same thing that the drug dealers in the 70s did to kids that were being raised by single mothers. They took advantage of those kids because they had nothing. And guess what they did? They imprint those kids. So we should be careful how we argue on this space, because we're going to imprint some kids.
All right, Mr. Rich, final thoughts.
Yeah, okay. Real quick on the black nod. And since I'm a baby boomer, that's how we used to live. I mean, that's how we used to live. I mean, you pass a black person you didn't know, you just gave an acknowledgement. At the airport, anywhere, right? I used to have white people used to ask me, "Why did you know that guy?" Excuse me. I said, "I didn't know him." He said, "Why you say hi?" I said, "Just one of the things we do."
Mm-hmm.
Because you had like this thing between. Well, hold on for a second. Let me take a sip. Anyway, so that black nod is real. So being a baby boomer, I mean, I've seen a lot of transition through the years. I'm kind of upset that Callie Bev left for my little watch, because I was trying to tell her that the participation trophy is bad for men or boys because it can't let them build character. And it's bad for girls because they can't they grow into entitlement. And as adults, it's no good for either one of us. So, and the last thing, excuse me, I came from my household was just filled with women. When my mom passed away when I was 8, so I went to move with my grandmother and my aunt, who was my guardian, all the sisters in the house, and it just was like, we were all nurtured, but I had nobody to talk to. So my whole thought was, I gotta get around men. Just got to get around men so you can learn the other side of life. So when I went to college, matter of fact, that made me get good grades so I could get the hell out of the house on my own dime. Right? I found a way to do that. Nobody told me anything, but I just found a way to do it. And it was fantastic, So now I have a healthy respect for women and their nature, but because I knew, I needed to get around men and how men move, how we talk, and stuff like that. So now what does that have to do with the point? That's why I'm a Andrew Tate guy, because I understand what he's trying to do. He got to get away from the sex business, but I understand what he's trying to do, because men need to hear men talk about that it's okay to grab your dick and act like you have balls and tell women shut the fuck up. It's okay to say that. You can say it nicely and and all that, but as long as the result is the same.
So,
I mean, and I'm not no tyrant. I'm an easy guy. I was never a tough guy and all that shit. My wife loves me and I love her back. I simp for my wife. I'll freely admit that shit. I don't give a shit if nobody likes it or not. But she takes care of me. She does everything I need her to do. And, let me just tell you one story. I'm going to shut up real quick. This was recently, like a couple of days ago. I was fooling around with my wife. I said, you know what? Shit. I'm kind of ready to get a little bit. She said, listen, man, anytime you want. I mean, we've been married for 36 years. And that was the moment I realized that I was writing the check. My ass wasn't ready to cash. My ass wasn't ready to cash. She just, I mean, so, To have somebody who's just always for you like that, it's just a real important thing from all aspects of marriage. And a lot of men will never realize that. And that's the sad freaking thing in this world. You know, when I met her and where we're at now, I really feel, I don't want to say I feel sorry for men. I'm saying men have to realize find a way to bring that out of your wife, even in this modern time, or your girl.
Yeah.
Because I'm not no goddamn unicorn. I did look a little bit better than I do now, but even when I turned into Shrek, she didn't leave. Right?
Well,
Because
she's
I was
not
looking
supposed
good.
to.
You know, so
She's
all I'm
not
just
supposed
trying
to
to say,
leave.
I hope you guys find that kind of love, that kind of
No,
appreciation
listen,
from women.
listen. We got to stop the narrative where
I
we
know
act
Ruckus does.
like men. Like this is one of the things that I advocate for deeply. We got to stop acting like there's something actually wrong with men. Women are leaving perfectly suitable men. All right,
Right.
a man who was on his purpose, doing everything that you've done for your wife, a woman got no reason to leave you. If a woman understands her purpose and her need in life, you don't leave a man for being naturally who they are throughout this life, right? Women are leaving perfectly suitable men and forcing expectations as if they got they have the right to do whatever they want to. They just are acting outside of their nature,
Let me leave
right?
it
And
on this.
they're doing things to their own detriment, right?
Right.
So and they're acting off of falsehoods. Like, think about it. When a woman says, "I can do better than you," how many women you know actually did better than the man that they were with in their
But
20s or
Trigger
30s?
Mike,
They can't.
I blame all this shit on the participation
It's
trophies.
all. It's
What the
exactly. It's
hell?
all
All this
a
shit,
part of the
the whole
participation
world
trophy
is
era.
gone because of participation trophy.
All
Anyway,
right,
that's it.
CBN.
I
Final
love you.
thoughts.
Final thought. From the input that Ekene gave earlier, he have a very strong logical point. If they ban TikTok, they're gonna ban Facebook in China. And both a lot of tech companies will be affected by it. I get it. I didn't see it from that angle. He have a very solid point. As for Andrew Tate, yes, he's needed for the young male generation because there are too many mamby pandy boys out there who trying to be all hard swinging guns, but when it comes to having a real fisticuffs fight, only take one jab and they're knocked out. I hate weak men. And for the third part, we need to drop all the feminine ideology that's not needed to build a strong society. History has been proven, it has been documented, and it needs to stop. I hope they can do the same thing in New York City, ban participation trophy, because I don't like it not one bit. It is whack as hell. As an MMA fighter, you give me a trophy like that, I'm gonna beat you with it. That's what I'm gonna say. That's my final
Hey,
thought.
it's got you. Power up, JT. Thanks for joining us today, man. What is your final thoughts?
No problem, man. I hope I get to join again. And I'll say for my final thoughts, um, Andrew Tate, he just needs to stay out of the way, stay low. Obviously they out to get him, and I wouldn't be surprised if something else pop up and they try to send him back. Um, what was the one? Second one? Oh yeah, Facebook. I
TikTok
mean not
being banned.
Facebook, TikTok. Yeah, TikTok being banned. They've been talking about doing this for a while, so I mean, I doubt if they get rid of it, but even if they do get rid of it, it's always somebody that's going to be spying on us, whether they're using the app or whether they flying a balloon over here. So one way or another, is going to be somebody, whether it's your own country or another country. It's just a matter of who's doing it and what they're doing
Mhm.
with the information. And with the participation trophies, uh, I agree with what CBN said and what Mr. Payne said. And at the end of the day, it takes character away. This was something that started in women's sports and was propagated by women, and they just wanted to make their kids feel good. But at the end of the day, what participation trophies breeds is men who don't know how to fight each other, so they go get a gun and shoot the dude who won. Participation trophy breeds men who cuss out women because they couldn't get her phone number or she said she wasn't interested in them.
Mm.
It breeds school shooters that were mad because girls don't like them, or somebody said something to them in class. It just brings a lot of other stuff that could seep into life after sports, after school. And I think that's what Cali Bev wasn't taking into consideration, is what it can do after the fact of the sport. After the fact, it pretty much is telling the person who won that you're not better than me and I'm just as good as you. And that's what
Yep.
the participation trophy is doing. I got a wall full of trophies just like you got a wall full of trophies. And that could bring a lot of spiteful energy, and on both sides, the winner and the loser side. And it just, if people are saying that they don't need a participation trophy to feel like they lost, then we should just get rid of it altogether. I mean, save that money and put it into the sport. And that's all
Yep.
I got to say for it.
My man. Facts.
Facts.
Factual there, bro. All right, EBD.
That's facts.
I'll keep it quick. For the Andrew Tate thing, I understand that where he's coming from as far as men's self-improvement. I do think we need to get back to like raw brass, wood, and iron. For the participation trophy culture, I think that comes with modern day feminism. I think feminism has taken over our growing up, our masculinity. I think feminism has now robbed boys and young men of their masculinity, which comes confidence, self-assurance, aggression, the like a competition, self-improvement, things like that, and it makes them, and they're turning into more emotional creatures that cannot handle emotion, and they just fly off the handle. So we got to shake that off, and I think the only way to do that is by having a program that takes men and has a retreat where we use our hands to either young boys, men, teenagers, all men can just return back to like a retreat where they do like all of the hard work to kind of rebuild themselves for a few weeks or months. And in that way, when they have to get back into modern day society, they have this like self-assurance, reassurance. They can like kind of reset as men. You got to take on this office or whatever job 365 days out of the year. There needs to be time where you're away from all that and that you're just around other men doing men things, like kind of like a release period, because women have been having this for years. They got their coffee clutches, they got the little spa days. Men really don't have that, and we need that. We need like things to build our masculine energy, so we can start building things with our hands instead of letting computers like run everything. So I'll just keep it to something like that.
All right, Ruckus, take us out, bro.
All right, so you don't praise somebody just for, you can praise somebody for their efforts, but you don't necessarily need to praise somebody for their duty, for just showing up, right? If you go to an interview and you don't get the job, you don't get a participation check. You know what I mean? You get an email saying what you can do better, or it's just saying a thank you, and that's pretty much it.
Most of the time, nothing at all. Most of the time,
maybe none at all. Even when it comes down to women, when women talk amongst themselves and say, "I was engaged, I was one time engaged, but that you get married," is the whole same thing with the participation. You participated, you did not win. The same thing, it goes for everything in life. For everything in life, it doesn't matter you participating. It matters what the results are when you actually show up. That's what matters. That's what people care about. I guess that's why with men, it's a little bit more triggering for us, because we live a life of competition. We compete with everything that we do. There was once a time when men competed on how many children they can actually raise and how many women they can maintain when they were being married. I got this job, I got this, I'm raising, 6 children, I'm raising 12 children and everything. It was all competition, and people have status for that. Now with the Andrew Tate situation, we need men like Andrew Tate. I say we even need men like Vadi Bakum. I know a lot of people are not aware who that is. You can search him up, Vadi Bakum. I think it's one thing, you know, in being a good man, and there's another thing in being good at being a man. You know, we can understand that there are good men, but we need to have, you know, people being good at being men. And I think both of them can be, you know, true at the same time, because we look at like The Sopranos, we look at the Godfather movies, we look at all these mafia movies and the whole nine. People might say, well, they're not good men, but I'll tell you this much: they're good at being a man. They're good at it. You know, and that's what we need with the whole TikTok situation. I think people just need to get off the damn social media, off their phones. If you have no business being there, what the heck are you doing in TikTok anyways, bro? All they're showing is, I don't even know, what do they show? Dances and all this craziness, all this foolishness. I can care less. I never had TikTok. I don't have Facebook. The only thing I have is IG, and that's mostly just for family photos and the whole nine. I think people should just forget about social media. If you haven't made it, if you haven't actually showed the results, get off of social media. If you have no business being there, if you're not getting money, just turn it off and actually be about your business and do what you got to do. That's it. The whole TikTok situation is all smoke and mirrors. That's all it is. Everything that the news puts out to the TV and to the masses and everything, all TikTok and banning and all this stuff, it's just all smoke and mirrors. It's an illusion. It's an illusion for something that's deeper in the background. Forget about that. Turn off the television. Forget about CNN, Fox News, the whole nine. Get to your grind, get a trade, get money, raise your family, be about your business, and put in the results. There's no participation trophies at the end of the day when you turn 90 years old and, oh, great job, you participated in life. No, what were your results? That's what's going to matter at the end of the day.
All right. I want to thank the panel today for coming up. All right, y'all. I'll catch y'all on the next one. All right, y'all. Excellent show today, man. I appreciate everybody for coming through. Thank y'all for coming through to the Trigger Mike Show. We are on the way to 100,000. All right, so make sure you share this out. And if you have not, hit the like button on today's stream and also share this out with your folks so they know this is what is getting you through your workday. Or if you're at home just listening to us, we appreciate you too. Tomorrow, we will be back with another hot topic. Thank y'all for coming through and chopping it up with us today. We got one super chat. Me University, $2 said, TM, women already on fire for being made second by God. I think we saw that today. No participation trophies. We got the panel today really laid out a fire explanation. We had new people coming up, dropping fire. So we always got new stuff to expect on the Trigger Mike Show. I appreciate y'all for your patronage. Thank you for continuing to rock with me. Please hit that like button, and we'll catch you on the next one tomorrow. I'm out. Catch y'all in the next one.